Hi, and welcome to my live stream. I'm Oksik, aka Annika, and well, hello to all. Hope you had a great Christmas. So, do we have anybody here yet? Hi, Pink Flower. Oh, hi, Nikki. I saw you. I saw you. I don't know if there's anybody else yet here, but we'll see if somebody joins us or not. I can just natter away, or we can just natter away, just two of us. We'll see how this is going to go for us. Anyways, oh hi, hi Kat. How are you? Hope you've had a good time with the holidays. Oh, good morning. Oh, good morning, Deb. Gosh, I'm getting a bit confused about the time zones, It's morning for you, it's pretty much night time for me, or kind of late-ish evening. Although, for me, I'm an owl, so yeah, for me it's pretty much normal programming. Not very late at all. You haven't spoken to anyone for days. Oh, Nikki. I hope you had okay holidays. Oh. Oh, it's delightful to have you people here. Australia. Deb loves crafting. You're from Australia. Cool. Yeah, well, you would have early. It's early, fairly early morning. What time is it there? Nikki, I got through it. Okay, that's you brave woman. It sounds pretty dire. I got through it. Oh, Patricia, hi. Well, mine were lovely. Well, as always, they have their moments. I was like exhausted by the end of it, but I've been on strike now for 2 days, cooking strike. So much leftovers. It's like, you go to the fridge, you're all big people, all grown-ups. You can go and get food out of the fridge. I am not cooking. Because I do 2 Christmas dinners. My own traditional Christmas would be 24th of December, Christmas Eve, so I make big dinner then. And I also need to make a big dinner for the 25th, which is kind of a local Irish tradition, to have dinner there. So, I had like 2 Christmas dinners on consecutive days. It's like, I'm not cooking for a while. Oh, Kat. I can't say grandkids are coming over. Have a great stream. Oh, thank you for popping in anyway, Kat. And I'm sure you're going to have a great time with your grandkids. Deb, 8:02 a.m. Sunday. Wow, woman, you're up early. Are you ticking with your coffee, or have you been up for a while? Did you just get out of bed? Oh. So before I go anywhere else, and I'm waving all over the place here with my hands, today's plans, okay, in the beginning as well, what I kind of want to do during this stream here. Oh, hi, Linda. Hi. Thank you. I had a nice Christmas. Santa was kind to me, I have to say, very kind. So, oh, Dawn, I didn't even see Dawn, you coming in. Hi, I'm so sorry I missed you. So my plan for this stream, kind of colouring wise, before I get into anything else, I'm sure we're going to come back to it and see how it goes. Basically, I want to base this image. I'm going to do watercolours today a bit, and I want to do kind of this first really wet wash base for this one, to kind of just get the ideas of the color and light down. And then I am thinking, oh, now I've lost the book again. Of course I did. I had it out, and then I filmed a video, and then I put things away, and now I can't find anything, because that's how I fly. Okay, found it. I thought I might try to start on this dragon with gouache, just, you know, bits and pieces. So we'll see how this is going to go for us. And yeah, this is the plan at the moment. We'll see how far we actually get, because, you know, when we're chatting away, things go slower than well, for me anyway, I tend to be slower than I actually anticipate. But yeah, I thought gouache here and watercolor here, and kind of do it loosely and just cheerfully chat away. Okay. Oh, hi Jackie. I hope you had a great Christmas. Hi, Can. Oh, hi everyone. I'm trying out my new Ohuhu in my new coloring book, Luna by Stratton Peterson. Oh, it's a lovely book. While you watch, yeah, it's a lovely book. It's a beautiful, and it suits actually markers really well. So I'm sure it's going to look absolutely amazing. Yeah, utterly fine, I'd say you're going to be. Now, yeah, this book, well, this image is from the new Coloring Heaven, which I found for myself a new artist. Let me get the artist's name, because it's a totally new name for me and I'm not used to saying it. Yes, we had, Jackie, yes, we had a lovely day on Boxing Day with our family. Hope you did too. Yeah, I had really a nice Christmas, but Boxing Day I pretty much would just, you know, I switched off. I have a cooking strike. I didn't cook. I pretty much let everybody to do their own thing, you know. Fridge is there. You're all big people. You can go and find food. I might have to eventually now cook tomorrow, because we are kind of getting low on pre-cooked food. We have loads of meat, but, you know, potatoes and veg and such, we're running short on. Okay, so I'm gonna tell you now the name of that artist. It's Emily Fiegenschuh. If you can see that name. This is how it's written. I did not know about her before. Maybe she has sold some line art, maybe on Etsy or whatever, but I haven't heard of it before. I think Emma brought that artist to my attention, and the line art is just so cool. I like the way she draws people, and I like the way she draws faces. They have kind of a, you know, they're not all super young, super pretty. They have character. They're all different. You know, it's not all the same face all over and over and over again. So really like her stuff. Oh, this is, by the way, this is my new tablet. My Santa was good to me. It's great for using during the streams and videos, because the screen is matte. And you can also switch it into the electronic paper mode, so it's really great for reading also and such. So yeah, you know, and it's kind of a nice size to have in front of me if I need a drawing reference or something, or coloring reference. This is kind of a nice to have on my desk. I'm very happy. I feel very spoiled. So Jackie, guess what I ordered myself for Christmas? Gouache. Just waiting for them to arrive. Well done, Jackie. Isn't that great timing? I made an extra lasagna for the holiday, and I will be baking it tonight. Officially on cooking strike too. Yeah, darn right. Okay, not staying polite here. Yeah, I'm not cooking, but I might have to do some cooking tomorrow. You have barbecue and salads left over, Jackie. Well, yeah. Oh, Barbie sounds nice. 30 degrees. Oh my god. That's torture for me. Like, I don't like hot weather at all. I'd rather be cold than hot, because I can put clothes on, but, you know, you can't take your skin off. Oh, Jackie, is it jelly or acrylic or just regular? Good evening. Oh, hi, Amy. Hi, Amy. Just regular water-based gouache. Yeah, for starting, actually with gouache, that is what I would call, you know, proper gouache. And for starting, that would be the one to start with, you know, to actually learn gouache techniques. I'm not saying that I'm in any way expert. I am learning gouache. I'm I don't really have that much clue, but I really like the look of gouache and kind of, you know, the way it looks on the pages and kind of with the paint and the effects you get, the way it covers the lines. And there's just so many things I love about gouache. I'll show you later my beautiful selection that I also kind of, it's my gift for myself, but we'll get there. Oh, hi, Wilcox Mama. Hi. Hi, Amy. Hi. Happy Christmas to everybody. It's still Christmas, isn't it? Can I still wish Happy Christmas? Or should I already go to the New Year territory? Happy endings! Back in Estonia, we would, at that stage, already start wishing happy ending year. We don't say Happy New Year before the year is actually, New Year is there. You say happy ending or happy ending year. But I don't know, you know, what's the tradition, you know, what are your traditions? Okay, so let's get, okay, I'm going to push that up there. Oh, Jana, hi. Hi, happy Christmas still. And happy endings also. I'm wishing from my side happy endings. And just holiday is probably the safest bet. Oh yeah, Amy, I'm great. I'm great. And Santa was great. I might have startings of some sort of a flu, but it's not there yet, so I'm still functioning. And Santa was kind to me. Really nice Christmas, and I really enjoyed watching my kids opening presents. You know, that's one of the things I really enjoy. You know, I enjoy watching other people opening presents. It's my thing, my quirk. And it was really nice. Oh, Amy, you finished the stream. Yeah, I was dearly hoping that I'm not stepping onto anybody's toes with this streaming slot that I've kind of now sat into. Like, I did ask around, and it didn't seem to be that anybody is actually kind of using this slot or kind of has taken ownership. So here I am, Saturday nights at 10 GMT. Con, I wish I had gotten the regular water-based gouache instead of jelly a few years ago. It was a trendy thing, and now it's hard as a rock, and I don't think I have the patience to save it. Well, the hard as a rock isn't that much of a problem because, you know, you can just use it pretty much, you know, put a drop of water onto it and just pick it up as more opaque watercolor type of a thing. But I don't like the consistency of the jelly gouache. I have tried it, and it was a huge disappointment because everybody was praising it to high heavens. People were doing amazing works with it, and it just didn't suit me at all. It kind of felt soapy and kind of weirdly, I don't know, gooey. I don't know. It was just something and streaky, and I wasn't really as opaque as I would have liked. Anyway, I didn't enjoy it, but I do enjoy the, you know, real gouache. Then again, you know, I'm not saying that I'm in any way knowledgeable about what I'm doing with it, but I really enjoy playing with it, and I do enjoy the look. It's been one stream after another today, Jana. I love it, as I was having live stream withdrawals. Yeah, mine is kind of, it just happened on a good time. I can see, you know, if my stream was actually kind of my usual stream slot was like on Christmas Day or Boxing Day, I'm not sure I would be up for it. But today it's fine, you know. 27th of December, everything is fine. So, oh, the way I've done my setup here, so you can see, this is how I tape my, if I can print out things. This is like cardboard clipboard essentially, which is easy to tape onto. Some of the plastic ones, the tape doesn't stay onto very well, and I'm taping it the way that this clip is at the bottom, so when I put it down I get this very slightly tilted surface, which I found really handy. So, Oh, hi, Valerie. Hi. Oh, Emma. Just keep saying Valerie. Hi, Emma. How are you? I'm sure you recognize the image, which I haven't gotten. Basically, yeah, I showed the book it's coming from, the Coloring Heaven edition, and I'm calling this page, I think she has kind of the character for every season, you know, that style of a character, and I'm calling that one Mother Winter. Or basically it's supposed to be winter, I think. You know, that's, I think, how it works in that book. But I really like the image. I like that she's not, you know, this 18-year-old like it seems to be most of the women we get to color. She actually has some years on her. Which, if you think about it, it would be kind of, you know, winter. Anyway, nice concept. So the colors I'm using today, oh Emma, I was thinking about what to do with it on the way back from your friends. Now I'm being nosy to see what you're doing. It's fine. Here, what colors I'm using, basically, you know, I'll be doing just a base. I'm not getting anywhere with it because I'm going to wet it big time, put some colors down and then leave it to dry, because that's sort of a watercolor, you know, when I work with a bit of water, there's not much I can do it after it's kind of done. I don't want to blow dry it or kind of a hot air gun it because the watercolor will look nicer if it gets to develop and move on its own without me kind of sealing it essentially with hot air. The colors I'm using today, not 100% sure about one of them, but I'm going to give an idea. So I'm going to use the nickel yellow, which is nickel laser yellow. That's this one. The pigment is PY151, and I'm using, not ultramarine, I'm using indigo here, this one, and I'm using quinacridone rose, which is that one, which gives this, in diluted form, gives this beautiful transparent glowy pink. And I am not sure if I'm going to try and mix nickel yellow and indigo. That indigo might not mix very well, but I can try. Or I'm just going to use some Hooker's green, because that green is the green I'm essentially looking for. So I might just go for it, because, you know, I'm looking for that sort of a green. It would be more harmonious if I, you know, mixed everything and just used 3 colors. But it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. So sometimes it's good when you put water down to leave it down for a while and let it kind of settle, and then apply a bit more water. This way the paper kind of settles better. For wet work. That sounds a bit gangsterish, but you know what I mean. The dog came in and kicked the door open, and now the door is gaping open. If you hear weird sounds or shouting or banging doors or really rattling engine noises, that's either, you know, my kids or my husband or the electric pumped shower or whatever. You thought about Emma, I thought about basing mine with the Hoo Hoo markers, but naturally when I need to use them I can't find them, even though I've been tripping over them all week. That's very typical. I can't lose mine. They are literally in the bamboo shelves on my crafting desk. So I can't lose mine. I'm lucky in that way. Okay, I need to put something behind here as well, some water, because I want some indigo behind there. So in this case, those branches behind her, I'm essentially going to just put the background colors all over them, because the branches are going to be a fair bit darker than the background colors. I'm not trying to go dark with background. I'm trying to go fairly diluted indigo and fairly diluted quin quinacridone rose in the background. Get this slightly crispy, light, airy background, but we'll see how this is going to work out for me. I might go a little bit darker than I initially planned. So I'm just making sure that paper is nicely soaked through. But not, like, no puddles, but nice and wet. So nice and shiny. So the paint would move, but wouldn't just puddle in random areas. And if I get some paint, you know, running into the image, that's fine. Everything is going to be fixed afterwards anyway. And most of the image is going to be darker than what the background is, so I'm not particularly worried about things running a bit or getting where they're not supposed to be. Yes, Valerie Amelia, that's Emma. Emma, your kids and husband sound like engines. Yeah, well, you're not wrong. No, the engine is the bleeding pump shower. It's really loud, but it has a good pressure, so yay. Oh, hi, Ambient Landscape. Hi. I didn't see. Oh, Rebecca, hi. YouTube did not send you notification. Oh, I'm sorry about that, but you're here now, so everything is absolutely fine. We're good. We're all good. Emma, your parents gave you a huge bamboo marker organizer for Christmas. I don't actually have that many markers. Wow. Let me see. I took a photo yesterday from my dog, who decided that she nowadays wants to sleep on the desk. But you can see the marker organizer. Oops, that's a wrong photo. Sorry. Sorry. See, that's the right photo. See, you can see my marker organizer behind her. That's how she decides that she wants to sleep now, or, you know, chill now with me. She needs to be apparently on the desk, which is a bit of a pain. My space is limited, but hey, it is what it is. She's the boss. Or, you know, she shouts until you pretty much give her what she wants. Okay, so I should have enough water here. I might drop a little bit more down eventually, but we'll see how this is going to go for me. I get distracted and then, you know, things get drier than I want them to be. And yes, it will buckle a little bit, but that's fine. Okay, so I'm going to put some water into this and water into this, just to make sure that, you know, I'm going to have diluted mix, and, you know, clean water it's always better to put clean water down. And I'm going to, which one is Quin Rose? No, I think it's 4th in a row here. So I'm taking the Quin Rose here, like that. It's a beautiful, you know, in a diluted form, it's a really pretty diluted, kind of a glowy bright pink. And I'm going to also grab indigo, I think was 3rd here in this pan. So I'm going to put some indigo here. And I can always, you know, just take from the pan if I want to get it darker in some areas. Okay, so I'm starting to kind of drop it down. And I'm not trying to get it very even. I'm actually trying to get kind of shapes. And it will develop and move on its own later on as well. So you get those interesting shapes. So I'm trying to kind of leave it alone and not to kind of guide and control it too much. I can be a bit of a, you know, sometimes I want to control things too much, especially if it's the media like watercolor that you should really let to do its own thing. I should have really put the pink down first, but hey, I had indigo on my brush and indigo went down, so there. Okay, so dropping into the corner more, and just, you know, deliberately kind of, and by the end of the stream, you know, once it's dried, you might actually see, you know, what it will look like, because you can't really, you know, well, that's the reflections as well, makes it even harder. Okay, and here I am, and the pink now, and I'm going to drop pink. I went onto the leaf as well because I didn't really look what I was doing, but I actually want more water here, so it'll kind of do its own thing more. And I'm just getting them kind of together. It's hard to show because the water and the reflections are making it hard to see for you, I guess. If I'm holding like this, you might see a bit better what I'm doing. I'm just putting the odd pink areas down, but it's not supposed to be like smooth pink only or gradients background. It's more so little variations and little bit of textures and glows. Okay, I might have too much here. And I'm trying to kind of get... It'll all, of course, I have to take into account the fact that it will lighten. So it needs to be a little bit more intense at the moment, you know, at first, than it would be eventually, because it does lighten a fair bit. Okay. Okay, I need to clean up this here. It's a bit of a puddle here and a bit of a puddle. Getting rid of the puddles. We don't want too wet of an area, but I'm trying to kind of leave these areas to just do their own thing. Just taking them a bit wider, but drop them in here. I want this area a bit darker, so I'll probably drop in direct from the pan. Okay, sorry, I'm going to go back into the chat. Okay, so where are you? Okay, very cozy. Yes, Amy, it is very cozy. Rebecca, oh, I love that image too, including the puppy. Cute cat. No, it's a dog. Emma, of course she should be treated like the queen she is. There's definitely Chihuahua there somewhere. I suspect there might be. Hi, Miami. Is it Miami? Color me, Amy. Okay. I'm so sorry if I'm butchering even your username. So you could just let me know how to call you. Rebecca, I'm not so knowledgeable. How do these differ from watercolor? The gouache, it's opaque and it's a different binder. So that's about it. And they work differently. can, for example, paint with light colors on top of dark colors, but they're still water activated. So, you know, they kind of work similar to acrylic paints, only they are activated with water. Well, they stay activated with water. Okay, I'm going to pick up some of those puddles here. These ones I don't like. And I will drop in a little bit darker color here from behind her. So sorry with the glare. Okay, I'm just, you know, darkening the color here a bit. I'm actually now going slightly around the branches, or, you know, I'm not being super careful about it or anything, but if I can, I will leave the branches a bit lighter. It's very hard to, you know, that's the problem with showing what's happening with watercolors. It's those reflections if you actually work proper wet, which I am here. I don't even know, you know, how, if I hold it like this, you know, fairly tilted like this, you can actually see better what's happening. And just letting it to drop there, and dropping some indigo here behind the hair as well. Now, and now I'm letting it to settle a bit, maybe put some darker bits at the top as well, just to add interest here, but not all over the place, just here and there. And then now I shouldn't really try to do much to that background anymore. I should just let it sit and develop, and, you know, once it settles, everything will kind of mix and develop, and you get this pretty interesting background. But I still need to put some face color onto it, so we'll see how this is going to work for me. I might put, it seems that reflection wise it's better if I keep it either like this or kind of more flat. This angle doesn't really work for, yeah, okay, I'm going to put like this and we'll see. I'm going to mix up something for the face, and I also need to make the glow here. These are watercolors. Oh yeah, I forgot to say, I'm using, as I promised, you know, I tried to use these as much as possible. Those are the Mei Liang watercolors. Let me go get closer a bit. I'm keeping things very... Mei Liang, these are the watercolors. This is a 48 set, but I don't think you necessarily need 48 set. There are ones that are 36, which would be fine as well. They're cheap and they're pretty decent, you know, considering, you know, the price point they are, you know, if you want to just try out watercolors, these won't break the bank and they are decent, you know, they're nice, transparent, they mix well, and so on. So, you know, what watercolor needs to do. Some colors, of course, here are better than others, but, you know, that's, you know, you can't expect all of them to be of, you know, amazing color quantity, the pigments, considering the price. So, but they are genuinely decent. Sorry, where was I? Emma, oh, I remember you said granulating watercolors are easy to make. Any chance of video, please? Santa didn't bring me any. Oh, I'm sorry. Basically, all you need to know about granulating watercolors is, you know, if you have already watercolors and they are of, you know, kind of actual, you know, halfway decent quality, you know, made with proper pigments, which ones are already granulating, and then you just either mix up something very transparent and something heavily granulating, and you have the they granulate because they are usually more coarsely grated or whatever you call it. You know, the pigments are coarser. So, you know, the coarser pigments settle in the other color or separate from the other color, and you get those dual effects, which there's actually a difference between splitting watercolors and granulating watercolors. At the moment, because they started calling them granulating watercolors, everybody is calling splitting watercolors or granulating watercolors, and there's actually difference. Granulating watercolors are just pigments, you know, watercolors that naturally granulate. Basically, what they mean by granulation in this one, it's actually hard to see because usually the cheaper watercolors don't do it that well, and this paper isn't pure, you know, really good watercolor paper, but you can see slightly the effect. In certain colors, you get those little particles that are visible. In certain, like, you know, some of them are very smooth. Some of them have a bit of a kind of a like texture, or it's called granulation because the particles are bigger. So this is actually granulating paint. If you mix, let's say, very, very transparent paint and very heavily granulating paint together, then you get splitting paints. You know, the ones you mean by granulating paint, basically they split into two different colors. So you just need to know which colors in your palette are heavily granulating and which ones are really transparent, and you can kind of test them and mix them and, you know, see how they behave. And for them to actually show the granulation, it needs to be, they need quite a bit of water. So, you know, if you paint very dry, like we tend to do in the coloring books, you kind of need to be pretty bold to get the granulation effect, because it only really works if you put plenty of water into it, and the pigments can move and separate from each other. So that's how it works. Sorry. Was it very, very now foggy and all over the place, that explanation? Whew. But yeah, there are certain pigments like ultramarine blue is granulating. Cobalt blue is granulating. There's God, what's that black that is granulating? Not lampblack. Was it lampblack? I need to know. Oxide black. Iron oxide black is also granulating. So, you know, if you mix tiny bits of those really highly granulating paints into paints that are very transparent, or sometimes even if you mix two very granulating paints, different ones together, and you use them with plenty of water, then, you know, the way they move is different. You know, the rate they move is different, and you get this split of colors. And that's what gives this really cool effect. Whew. Okay. Did I now explain it the way that anybody is able to understand it? Because I'm not very good at that. Sorry. Where was I now? Okay, so gouache. Emma, I always thought of gouache being a cross between watercolor and acrylic. I find them easier to use than watercolors. In a way, yes, they can be, because they're more opaque. I find actually watercolor easier, but maybe because that's what I started with, I guess. But I really like the effect of gouache. Oh, the cat is nesting in my hair. Does anyone want a semi-feral antisocial void? Wilcox, Mama. My cat is not feral and eats my hair. Isn't it weird? It kind of is, yeah. Rebecca, ladies, I am here to learn and enjoy the chatter. Do they need to dry all the way before adding more water and color? You mean the watercolor hair, the background, that needs to be kind of a settling a little bit, and I'm not really going to add anything much to the background at all. I am just leaving it fairly faint, and I want kind of this airy effect in the background. I had actually thought maybe to put in salt as well, but because I want to do other painting around here as well, I didn't want salt granules in the way. But otherwise I would have dropped a bit of bits of salt maybe there to create even more kind of little effects, almost like a snowflakes in the back. So where was I? It's now all about cats eating hair. Okay. Trustful Arts. That is such a cool username. Kudos to you. Hi, and by the way, hi Trustful Arts. Beautiful, thank you. Jana, my Siamese licks my hair to groom me. Oh, that's so sweet. Makes me nuts as I have really long hair. She does this as I'm trying to go to sleep. Oh no. That sounds wonderful. I won a watercolor class and I applied too much color, not enough water. However, she did tell me I had good skill at lifting. Oh, Rebecca, you're gonna be fine. Jackie, my chat doesn't always keep up with the stream. I think there might be a lag in my internet. Sometimes I don't seem to comment at the right time. I have lag as well between, you know, what I'm doing here and you know, everything I see is actually, you know, has happened a little while ago. There is a lag. It's just kind of, I think it's kind of built in slightly. Rebecca, your watercolors last longer too if you dilute them more, and you will get more transparent look. Yes, yes, that is true. But at the same time, if you are a bit wary about using watercolors, a lot of water on your coloring book paper, some papers take it better, some worse, then diluting, you know, because if you dilute them, you kind of need to use quite a bit of water. I can see why people don't, you know, they kind of use pretty heavy layers to work as dry as they can, if you know what I mean. I think you girls are all the skilled to be able to work and to keep up with the chat. Practice, practice, practice. Yeah, that's about it, Rebecca. That is absolutely 100% true. Do you know Mog the cat, Tiana? She's a storybook cat that gets in trouble for giving her owner a nightmare. She's been eaten by a tiger because she licks her hair. Oh my god. Okay. Whew. Rebecca, the background is already beautiful. Yeah, you will see it better once it dries a bit, but I like it the way it is. I am not going to put anything else into that background. Maybe eventually I will sprinkle a little bit of white, you know, around her, but that's going to be at the very end. I'm leaving that alone. I just wanted this kind of a wintry, airy, you know, soft but cool colors behind her. And now I need to, okay, I want to catch up with the chat before I get into it. I think the gist of it is that darker colors are granulating away, and to experiment. You explained it well. Okay, thank you, thank you. It's not just darker colors, it's just certain pigments that if you search for granulating pigments or granulating watercolors on Google, it gives you a pretty good list, a good idea, you know, which common pigments or common watercolors are by their nature granulating. Spare room studio. Oh, Jackie, you love using salt. Yeah, salt is lovely. I just didn't want at the moment, because I'm working still on it, I didn't want salt on the sides because I'm going to move it, and it's going to spell disaster. Yeah, but it gives really lovely effect. Hi Erica. Hi, delighted to see you here. That is so great. Okay, let's do the glow, I think. I need to put it on several places. Okay, which one was the nickel yellow? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm counting from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, this is, well, I should have actually known it because it actually looks in the pan fairly dark. But if you put a bit of water down, I'm making that puddle here in this one of the smaller wells. And picking it up from here, you get, look, this, and you can actually get this dark with it. That's why I love nickel laser yellow or nickel yellow. You can get really dark, almost like really deep dark yellow, and you can get very glowy, transparent, beautiful yellow with it. So it's a really versatile yellow. It's one of the yellows that I always want to have in my palette, you know, as far as watercolors go. Okay, hi Jackie. Margie's night. You were still talking about cats and hair. Spare room studio. The cool thing about watercolors are that you can use them in so many ways, whatever suits you best. Exactly. Exactly. You can have really heavy flat lay down. You can create beautiful, airy, transparent effects. There's so many different effects you can do with them, from cling film to salt to different textures to scraping out textures. They have so many opportunities, but they also can be worked really carefully, really controlled way, like we often do in our coloring books that don't allow us to do that sort of a really wet application. Well, some coloring books do, but most of them really don't. Oh yes, Maya, she's adventurous as Jackie, as Annika. Yeah, Maya does great stuff. All of you intimidated. Oh, please! We do not mean to, and no, please do not be. We're all just trying out stuff. And in many cases, things, go wrong also. None of us get everything right all the time. So, glow, okay? I'm going to I want this pomegranate to have a bit of a glow. So I'm going to put the yellow all over it and bring it onto the hands and out to the neck as well. And now I'm quickly rinsing the brush and I'm kind of washing the edges out, just like this. And I'm also going to want to put that slightly on the jawline, because I want a bit of that glow to show up on a jawline. I hope you can see. I know that the water kind of a reflection, I can't really do much about it. I can see if I can move the light a bit. Yeah, actually that helped a little bit. I kind of moved the light to the different angle. I know that now I have weird shadow, but you should be able to see the image better. Is that better? Just somebody tell me. I know that there's weird shadow, but we can always kind of change it afterwards. But you should be able to see what I'm doing a bit better. Emma, my Chihuahua is the absolute king of pointless licking. If he's happy, he licks me. If he's scared, he licks me. If he wants to fall asleep, guess what? He licks me. I concur with Jackie, says, welcome, Wilcox Mama. Let loose and just play. That's how we learn. Exactly. Oh, hi, Stephanie. Hi. The more you play, the more you learn, become comfortable. Yes, Jackie, exactly. That's the best way of just go for it. And if it doesn't come out amazing the first time, well, there's always next time. Just keep experimenting, and that's how you find what you like as well. If you try different things, if you just take one thing and you get comfortable with it, yes, you are comfortable, but you might like something else better, or you might enjoy other things as well, and you will never find out because you are too afraid to try. So just go for it. It's just coloring books. Jackie says that really good. It's just coloring book, and it's just absolutely right. We're not. It's not life and death. It's just coloring books. What is behind her? Is that part of her dress here, or is that something else? Am I misunderstanding something? I thought it was part of the dress, but now I kind of feel that it has to be something different. Okay, confused Oxic here. Is it better, the light? Honestly, let me know. I know that there's shadows now, but at least there's no the water glare. Okay, so I also want to put tiny bit here onto her nose, because the light is coming from underneath, so I'm going to drop a tiny bit of yellow here and here. The nostrils are going to be dark anyway, that doesn't matter, but the bit kind of underneath the nose is going to be, and a little bit underneath the lip as well. And I also want something kind of tiny bit kind of here underneath the eyes and underneath the eyebrows. Is it trees behind her? Yeah, it looks like some sort of a branches. I'm planning to do them eventually with kind of a also with help of indigo and possibly some kind of a like sepia, but I kind of want to do them in darkish grayish tones, the branches. Sometimes crappy paper, it's only paper. Yeah, sometimes crappy paper, sometimes good, but it's all just paper. That's exactly it, Jackie. And I'm going to put a little bit here underneath the eye and also a tiny bit under the eyebrow. I actually want these bits to be more salmony than strong yellow, but this can be helped with other glazes afterwards. Rebecca, when I was young and brave, I had an art instructor who absolutely destroyed me by crucifying everything I tried. I dropped my major completely and had not picked the paintbrush in 35 years. What? Yeah, sometimes, yeah, bad teacher, and that's a bad teacher who does that, can really destroy self-confidence and any joy you have in a subject. Same thing happened to me with maths. I used to be fairly decent at it when I was kind of, in a primary kind of first classes, and then I had 1 year when I was sick fair bit and I was out fair bit as well, and I would have needed a really nice, good support from a teacher, and instead, I got a really poor teacher and it totally destroyed my relationship with maths. Emma, I stick with colored pencils. It's all I've used for years and I'm scared to try anything else. Valerie, Emma, that's fine also. If you feel comfortable with something and you don't want to go for anything else, utterly fine. Exactly, Erica. Oh, Rebecca, that's so saddening to hear art is about what's inside and how it makes you feel. It looks different to everyone. Exactly. And nobody should be making you feel bad about your art or it just sounds horrible. I'm so sorry that this has happened. Okay, I'm going to put some yellow more here into these stripes as well to kind of have those, and maybe here that the glow is falling there, and maybe the edges of the sleeves, just to have that extra color. It's not gonna stay there like this pure yellow, but I'm just going to put some down, in some areas where there could be a bit of a highlight later on. Okay, so now I need to get some pink. I think I want it even more diluted than it is here. It might be too pink still. And I want to put a little bit of pink here underneath the chin, and maybe a little bit here on the cheeks. Okay, and maybe a little bit here, kind of above the yellow. I will soften it in a second. It looks like I'm putting it down the really harsh edges, but I will soften it. And I'm going to put some pink. I always put some pink as an undertone for ears, for example. And now I want, for example, here in the eyes, I actually feel that this yellow is too yellow. So I'm just going to pull that. Now it's very diluted pink that is left in my brush. So I'm just going to run it over that yellow. So it's all transparent. And it becomes more of a peach, which is what I was looking for. and maybe here as well, kind of this area, and here. Okay, and now I'm softening the transitions a little bit. So basically I wet my brush and then I tapped it onto a paper towel. Sorry, it wasn't in the shot. And then I'm just going to run over that not very wet brush over the transition areas, so it wouldn't be very harsh. Just essentially blending. But it can't be very wet, because if you have it very wet, then you're gonna get cauliflowers here, and I don't really want cauliflowers in the face. In the background it's cool, and you know, in many other places, but I don't want them to be in the face. Okay, and now I'm leaving it to kind of sit for a tiny while, and I'm also going to drop a little bit of pink here. Okay, here, and also right away I'm going to soften the edges, and I'm going to also drop some pink here on the hands. So I want a little bit on the fingers, because fingers also have pink in them, so you know, it would have more pink. This finger should actually be fairly yellow because it has the glow directly on it, but the ones that are facing us shouldn't be as yellow. Like there's strong yellow here, but in the edges there might be a bit of pink already, and so on, and here. And I'm also going to drop some pink onto the hands, like this, into that area here. And once I've now softened it a bit, I'm going to have a look what's happening in the chat. Okay, so where am I? Okay, I've missed bits again. Oh. We had Jackie. We had a dog who used to sit outside the shower door watching. We used to joke he was a man reincarnated. It could be unsettled though, you know, dog just staring at you when you're having a shower. Oh. Emma, Rebecca, I sympathize a lot. I had an art teacher who told my parents at the first parents' evening I couldn't draw. Oh. Yeah, and it was their job to teach you. Duh. Even if you couldn't, which I highly doubt. Stephanie, Rebecca, that's so sad. I'm so sorry that you had that experience. Yes, that pretty much, yeah, as it happened, can destroy any joy. Okay. Erica, love seeing you. This process, watercolor, is for sure one of the mediums I struggle with. A goal for me is to learn more this year. I love watercolor and I love playing with it, and I love this method especially, but I don't do it too often because it's the more time consuming one, because it's essentially kind of this gentle glazing that you just add transparent layers of color. You build it up, build it up, build it up, and eventually you get a full-blown kind of image. I've done a video about that, you know, how I do glazing. On my channel, there's a video about it on kind of a more scenic page. Well, Cox Mama, that's why I love YouTube. I wish I would have access. I would have had access to this when in high school. Yeah, really handy. I learn everything on YouTube, it seems. Learning would have been so much easier, enjoyable. Exactly. Rebecca, I paint rocks and hide them. Oh my gosh. I like making others smile. That is so nice. That is so sweet, Rebecca. Yes, Erica, that's really lovely. Oh, I saw a woman on Instagram that would do cute sidewalk or for people to brighten the day, kind of the same thing, sharing a bit of happiness. Yeah, I would love to kind of be able to do something like that. Oh. Emma, a cauliflower in your face doesn't sound very comfortable. Damn well isn't. One of my goals is in the new year is to try more watercolor in my books. Stephanie, oh yeah, they're great fun, and they are just so versatile, and you can do so many things with them and so many different styles. It's just like endless. Okay, I should really put the red down on these. I'm just going to put red base down on them, and the first red base, because they're poinsettia. So there's going to be green leaves behind, but the front ones are going to be pink. So I'm just quickly dropping a bit intenser pink here. And I'm not worrying about this bit that is supposed to be yellow here. That can be done afterwards with acrylic or gouache or whatever. It kind of takes my fancy at the time. It doesn't have to be full watercolor. I love mixed media the best. Stephanie, my son also bought me watercolors to Rosa. I said, Rosas are fantastic watercolors. Stephanie, you're a lucky duck. These are really good watercolors. They mix beautifully, they glow on the paper, but they also are quite suitable for the coloring books because they're not the most transparent ones. So in coloring books that sometimes works better. If cauliflower on your face is anything like cauliflower ear, it would definitely be an ouch. It's not as bad as that, my dears. Emma, teach me. No, don't be silly. He was too busy flirting with the older girls. Yuck! He got me to pose for portrait drawings a lot because he didn't know what else to do with me. That sounds so iffy. Ew! My art teacher had an affair with my maths teacher. It was all very dramatic. Okay, high school drama. Okay, where was I now? Oh, I meant to deal with the green. I have kind of decided that I'm going to use... I thought about mixing green. Oops, I should really wash my brush a bit better. But a bit of pink... in the water isn't actually bad, unifies everything, and I'm taking that green, which is kind of, they call it hooker's green, although it's not really pure hooker's green. It's a mix, but it works well. I'm gonna show you which one again. I'm taking this green. I like this green. I have a weak spot for hooker's green, so I want to glaze that over most of that robe or whatever she's wearing, and I'm also going to use that as a base for the leaves. So, and at the moment, at the first layer, I'm putting everything down light. Nothing is going down. Nothing is going down heavy. But the thing about this is that that I'm not using, like, I literally will use probably 5 colors, because I'm not sure if I'm going to bother to mix brown. It's sometimes easier to just, pick one of the browns up. I might mix brown from these. I haven't decided yet. But I'm thinking about just using maybe sepia as well. So I'm using nickel yellow, which is that yellow, which is PY151. I'm using indigo, which here is a mix of ultramarine blue and black, the carbon black. Or coal black they call it, but the pigment is carbon black. Okay. Then I'm also using quinacridone rose, which is PV19, and I'm using hooker's green, which was just convenience. I could have mixed it mostly for these colors there, but it was just easier to pick it from here. And I'm using sepia eventually to really darken some colors, and I kind of have a feel that I will use it in the hair as well. Just for the convenience sake. So I'm going to leave that kind of a trim here, yellow. It's not going to stay yellow, but I'm at the moment leaving it in the yellow. And I'm putting in the green everywhere. But as you can see, there was a little bit of yellow here underneath glazed. And now you have this slight kind of a warmer glow to this bit of a sleeve. And once I darken the bits there, it gives a lovely effect. But you know, at the moment you can't really see much, but it will work. It's not gonna stay like yellow. Okay. So you just have those warmer bits, which eventually, when everything else around them is darkened, will get this glow effect. So, all right, and I think I need to drop more yellow here. I would like to have a bit more warm glow there, and that's going to be very easy to do. Just going to take from here. Yeah. See? So it's going to kind of warm the green of the robe as well, the glow around her. And I'm going to put more of it here before I go in with the green. So I'm starting with the green here, just covering pretty much most of the robe with the thin layer of green. That's Hooker's green, at least a male young version of Hooker's green. There you go. I'm sorry if it's, you know, even now with the moved light, it's still going to give a bit of this. I'm keeping it now at the angle so you can possibly see a bit better what I'm doing. At least I can see what I'm doing because I have the laptop that shows me. Okay, I will need to drop a little bit of green onto that one as well, but you get this kind of a glowy area here because I have this glowing pomegranate here. Okay. Now I need to work on the leaves as well, and I'm taking the same kind of a glaze and I'm going to drop it into all of these leaves as a thin glaze. I'm not gonna put different greens in there. I'm keeping pretty much all the greens the same because eventually when I go, if I want to differentiate a little bit, I can go on top with slightly different pencils, but I'm keeping the base pretty much the same. So I probably will miss some leaves here. You will see that. I always do. Okay. That looks like it might have been leaf. And I think, okay, here as well. I also want to eventually put kind of like a frost onto those leaves, because it's supposed to be like Mother Winter or whatever. So it would look, I think, nice if I tried to create some sort of a frost, but you know, this is going to be in the future. Okay, who else is here? What's happening? What's happening? Don't like missing out. Okay, I didn't notice all the flowers. Coloring Biker Mama just popping in to say hi. Hi, your streams are always so professional. I'm just learning my ropes, but you know, we'll get there. We'll get there. I'm trying. Maybe we need, Rebecca, maybe we need a beginner watercolor group. Emma, I was in high school in Scotland. Things were very casual. The history teacher would swig from a hip flask during a class. Whoa! Maybe she needed that. Maybe he, I don't know, he, she, whatever. What did you do to a poor teacher? Valerie, can you imagine if she was a rugby player? Jolanda, I think I'm color here like a Native American. She gives me that kind of a vibe. Emma, yes, actually, I can see what you're saying. Yeah, yeah. I'm actually, at the moment, it looks very glowy and kind of a, you know, super transparent. It's not going to stay that way. It's just a base where I'm giving myself an idea where the colors are and what colors they are. But she will eventually, the colors will change a fair bit. And definitely there's going to be more deeper shadows. But I wanted to put down the vibes and also the location where the glow would be, because it's always easier, anything that glows, it's easiest always to put the glow down first and then kind of work around it, so you don't accidentally kind of forget it or kind of color over it. You know, for the face as well, you know, you put down the areas where the glow would land first, like I did here, and then afterwards you can play with shadows and such. Okay, all right, this is going slower than I thought it would, so we might not get to the gouache, but we'll see, maybe we do. And now I want to take a tiny bit of sepia. I want some of the strands of her hair to be kind of white or grey, and most of it to be fairly dull, dark, kind of sepia would be the right color. So sepia is I'm doing the counting again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5th from the edge. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's this one is sepia, and oops, I didn't put water down for sepia. Like the less colors usually you're using, the easier it often is. You just mix with these colors and you get almost instant and very easy color harmony. So okay, let's see. I'm trying to create, so some strands would be white, so I want to leave this strand here white. So I'm putting some sepia around it and leaving it white. And maybe this strand here should be white as well. Just so she's going grey. And here I want also the same effect, so I'm doing most of the braid with that sepia, but I'm leaving one area that is white, and I will put later on, you know, the sepia will get darkened obviously, but the light area I can then leave pretty light. Okay, so I'm going to put sepia near the face because it's just easier to shade afterwards. And I'm leaving this strand here white. If working with watercolors in that style, it is easier if something is very light to try to keep it light from the very beginning, not go back and try to lighten it, because that can genuinely be a pain. So it would make your life easier. I'm also going to drop some of the sepia into those little pine cones. I will later on try to put some frost onto them as well. So I will take them, these ones I will kind of take the dark first, and then eventually bring the light parts out. And I'm going to leave this bit here, like I'm going to do that strand with sepia. Oops. And up here, and yeah, I'm leaving this one white, this bit here. Alright. And this bit here I'm going to leave white as well. This that is coming from behind the ear there. So I'm going to put a fair bit of sepia here, but I'm leaving this bit nice and white, kind of fairly wide white strand. And I'm also going to leave one white area here, like here. So I don't, you can possibly see yourself that I'm not, I didn't forget to color some bits of her hair. I want to leave them white because I want to make them gray. Okay, where's my chat? The pomegranate gives me Persephone vibes. Rebecca, is glazing a process of layering? Glazing is working with transparent washes of watercolor on top of each other. So basically you build up color by adding more and more and more of layers. You are right, it is a form of layering, yes. It's essentially watercolor layering. It's like a version of polychromos in a way, you put transparent pencils, transparent paint, same logic kind of. For people who color with pencils of a watercolor base a lot, is it easier to use softer pencil? Actually, a watercolor gives you, because you put down pigment, which is particles, they are ground particles. You create often more texture than your paper would have. And even harder pencils go down on many papers actually way better than onto regular paper, because you have this even soft base of kind of watercolor particles, the pigment that is on the paper, on top of paper, sitting on top of paper. But this only really works if you do it with real watercolors. If you do it just with pigment paste pens, you won't have the same effect exactly, because there's no pigment particles there, it's a dye. Does anyone actually like pomegranate? I would like the flavor, the seeds annoy the heck out of me. Would 15-year-old watercolors still be okay to use? Watercolors don't go bad. 115-year-old watercolors would still be okay to use, as long as they wet. Like, they're absolutely fine. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Yolanda. Is it Yolanda or Yolanda? So sorry. I'm trying. Her hair sounds like mine. I've got a streak of white through the front and dull dark hair everywhere else. Oh, hi, Cindy. Hi. Happy holidays to everybody who I haven't wished the happy holidays yet. I'm so sorry. I'm behind the chat. What size of brush and type are you using? Okay, this one is, okay, I'm trying to get it to actually focus on this one. This is cheapest of the cheap. The brand, I don't even know that one has a brand written on it, but I think they were sold as semi-art. They are from Temu. They have French fastening, and I think they are kind of faux squirrel. They're synthetic squirrel brushes. They are very soft, but they bounce back nicely, and they hold this lovely point. You can see the sharp bit that's called point in watercolor. And they are really nice to work with. And this would be size 2 possibly in that specific brush. But if you buy not like the sizes would kind of be bigger in that type of a fastening. Let me see, like this. If you look at the traditional brushes, which is, let's say this is like traditional, you know, kind of a metal ferrule brush. They're essentially very similar size, but this is size 5. But why I like putting down glazes with that brush is that it's very soft. It doesn't disturb the layers underneath. You can work with it very softly and blend very softly with it. So different brushes for different jobs, essentially. Okay, so I want to now create a fairly traditional skin tone. So I'm taking my bit of everything. So I'm taking a bit of yellow. So it's the same yellow I used before, nickel yellow. I am taking a bit of Quin Rose, a little bit more. That's still too yellow. That might be a bit too pink. Let me see. I need a piece of paper. Okay, I'm losing my marbles here. And everything else also. I found a piece of paper. So this one is a bit too pink. Actually, no, it wouldn't be if I would just dilute it a bit more. It would actually be okay, but it's still a bit bright, so to take that brightness away, I'm mixing in a bit of blue. So you get a bit kind of a muted tone, more natural tone. Here I actually feel that I should have tiny bit more pink in it, so I took too much pink away. Now I'm taking the pink here from the wash. So yes, because I want fairly cool skin tone, but I want to make it a bit more transparent, a bit more, sorry, diluted. Okay, I'm missing half of the chat again. What size of a brush? I did answer that. Not white. We don't say white. We say ash blonde. Kaz, you're a hoot. Kaz, I might use that instead of salt and pepper grey that I'm right now. I don't know what mine is. It's just, I don't know, a weird mix of dark and grey bits and pieces. Salt and pepper is probably kind of a correct way to describe my hair. Okay, where is the... okay, Kaz, I went blonde for a bit after being dark-haired my whole life. Wrecked my hair, but so worth it. I look awful with blonde. I have tried it once in my life, just, you know, for the hoot of it. And, oh, no. Does not look cool. With my skin tone, with my features, blonde just looks horrible. Like, I'm not blonde. I just can't be blonde. It doesn't work for me. I look weird when I'm blonde. Oh, hi, Erica. You had to make some dinner. Well, some of us are in cooking strike, or on cooking strike, sorry. I basically was like, I have cooked so much food. The place is full of food. You can surely go to the fridge and get your own food. Okay, so now I'm going to glaze that skin color really thinly over everything I've put down. That skin color that I mixed that is fairly transparent. And you can see how everything kind of comes together more. But I'm leaving in the neck where this pomegranate is kind of directly glowing, I'm leaving that bit here pure yellow. Because there might be an area on the neck where you have kind of direct glow. The rest of the face, you know, this is what I call glazing. I basically create colors by layering other colors on top of them. Other mixes. And you can do it almost endlessly. You can just build and build and build and build, as long as the paper kind of tolerates it. Now, I'm not putting much here in the palms because I want that to be strong yellow glow. but underneath the hands and on the arms here, it's actually going to be quite dark eventually. There's going to be actually quite deep shading there. But at the moment I'm just putting down the base, kind of a subtle, and now I'm leaving pretty much the face alone. I'm not going to put much onto it. I think I might be pretty much done with that basing, because that now needs to just, I need to put some red into the berries. Is it red? Are they red? They're holly berries, aren't they? Holly berries are red. Jesus, oh my god. What is wrong with me? The Christmas has been going on for too long. Are holly berries red? Good question, Axik. Really good question. Let's contemplate that for a while. Okay, so I'm going to drop a bit stronger mix of the Quin Rose into the berries. It's still going to dry a fair bit lighter than it goes down, because that's just the nature of watercolor. It dries lighter. So if you feel that, I was too bold, I put too strong colors down, wait a little. And you will actually see probably that you're fine, because it dries a fair bit lighter. Now I'm going to take a little bit more of the sepia, because I have a feeling that there should be sepia here, behind the branches. I haven't decided yet what I'm going to do with the branches here, what color they're exactly going to be, so I'm leaving them alone for time being. But I think I'm going with the same kind of a dark grayish vibe as the ones in the background, so I'll get to that eventually. So I will now need to put that to the side and give it a bit of a rest. Oopsie daisy. I heard the marbles. What? I'm missing things again. I heard the marbles go. Did you make anything nice for dinner? I would love to have at least one very good watercolor brush when I win the lottery. Yeah, good watercolor brushes can be really expensive. I have some really nice, let me see if I can find them. I have some Renaissance Pro Art Sable brushes, but I only have like size 6, but this is actually very nice for kind of a more detailed glazing. It's a lovely brush. Oh, somebody kindly closed the door there. I probably annoyed them with my chatter. So I have a couple of really nice brushes, but I don't have a really nice brush that would be kind of the size I mostly use, like 8 or something like this. So, I would love to get something like that, eventually, one day, maybe. But these ones, trust me, people, you don't have to pay huge amounts of money to get a really decent watercolor brush. Like, these are very cheap, and they come often in sets, and they're like maybe 10 a set. And they are perfect for watercolor work. They're very soft. It depends, of course, what you're doing. As I said, these are more layering and glazing brushes. But I use them for other stuff as well, because I just like how they work. They hold point nicely. They hold loads of water or paint. Yeah, they're beautiful brushes, and they're not expensive at all. So, and I can show you things are getting lost on this desk endlessly. I know I had a bigger brush of the same variety here on the desk. I have no idea where I put it. Oh, here. This is the bigger version, and this is now how it looks when it's dry. So you can see it looks like a mop. And then you wet it and you get this nice point. And this is size 4. So, look at this 4 and this 5. So the smaller brush is 5, traditional European kind of a size. And this is kind of the French fastening brush. These are ice but they're often sold by Semi-Art or whatever. They're pretty much all the same. It's a synthetic squirrel. And they're lovely for that sort of work. you know, big washes and kind of but I also, you can see, I did all those little details in between with that that brush as well. So I pretty much did the whole thing with that. I consider that a detail brush, but for a lot of people it wouldn't probably be. I like my brushes fairly big. So yeah, okay, so let's put the watercolors away, and I'm catching up with the chat a little bit, and then we might dive a little bit into the gouache. And that one needs to go away because now it needs to dry properly, you know. During this live stream, I can't really do much to it, sorry to say. Or maybe we can talk a little bit about our Crimbo also. But the plan is also to pull out a bit of gouache and play a little bit with gouache. I don't have now huge things planned, but I would like to get started, or kind of work on another page. Here we are. I'm going to go to the better shot or bigger shot. These are my favorite sweets. What are your favorite sweets? So, a dust catcher, you are a wonderful teacher. Oh, thank you. That is really nice thing to say. I'm not sure how. Sometimes I'm like, I'm just rambling away. Did they actually get what I'm trying to say? You did make jambalaya, and Erica, wow. Mine were just having leftover turkey and potato croquettes and whatever, you know, they found in the fridge and freezer. I was pretty much pointing at the fridge and said, "There's the food." Adelaide, 35 Celsius. Oh, Jackie, you poor thing. Oh, hi, a curious mind seeker. A curious-minded seeker, sorry. Hi, everyone. Good to see you all. I enjoy abstract watercolor, but haven't tried it in a coloring book yet. It's looking good so far, Annika. Thank you. It's going to be kind of thing I'm going to be building up. So at the moment, it's just a very, very faint base where I've established the colors for myself. It actually looks better away from the camera, to be honest, you know, because there's still a little bit of a dampness to it, so you get a bit of a glare here and there. But without lights on it, it actually looks better. You can see it starting to develop slightly. It's just more so idea of the colors and what I'm going to be doing with it. It's going to be a fair bit more contrasted and shaded, of course. Well, sort of a thing I enjoy. Awesome, beautiful, 8782. Axic makes watercolor look so easy. Thank you. It's all about going for it, you know, just trying out things. And it's not even, nothing is immediately easy. Everything needs to be tried out and practiced a little bit. But I think it's worth it. And I'm by no means don't get into your heads that I'm some sort of an expert. I'm not. I'm all self-taught. Yeah, pretty much, you know, I pretty much found that there have been no courses, you know, nothing. It's just me grabbing watercolors and going for it. After, mind you now, watching some YouTube videos. So I did do some work. Yeah, really enjoyed them. I think they're so versatile. And also, I especially, you know, on a pages that have loads of background, I do not want to do them with pencils. Like, the thought of doing huge backgrounds with pencils just fills me with absolute freaking dread. No. It's just tedious to me. So, the favorite treats. Go on, people. Favorite treats. What are they? Tell me your yummies. Jambalaya sounds good, Erica. Yes, it does. You're lucky family. You have a responsible mother. Jackie, Emma, I hibernate in summer. I live under the ceiling fan and aircon. Yeah, that's the only way I would be able to cope with that as well. But we don't even have aircon here. That's the problem. Like, people laugh, you know, when they say, oh, your temperatures don't even go that high, you know, what's the problem? Is, yeah, but we don't have anything to cope with, you know, for us, higher heat either. Our houses are not built for it. Insulation is mostly crap in most Irish houses. That we have added extra insulation to ours, but that doesn't really help as much as it should. And no houses really have air conditioning, so fan is pretty much the only thing. And if you sit under the fan long enough, you will get a headache. So summer can be a miserable experience. Love winter. I think I should make the trees a bit dark and foreboding, because winter can be like that sometimes. Yeah, my idea is that as well, that the trees in the background are going to be kind of dark. Summer, a curious-minded seeker. Summer is rough for me too. 35 is too hot. Thank goodness for AC. Yeah, I don't have AC here. Call me cheap, though I spent a fortune on supplies, but I'd never spend over 10-15 on a single brush. I don't care how nice. My Kmart packs and random art shop singles for £5 are good enough. Yeah, these ones, if, you know, you're looking for something nice and soft and kind of a guaranteed, you know, pretty decent. I just like the French fastening. Those brushes are usually kind of, they're a bit more substantial, let's put it that way. And these ones, they're really cheap. They're not expensive brushes. Like, they're Temu prices, you know. But even on Amazon, the same brushes, I don't think you pay much over $10 for like 2 or 3. That's good in my books. I do love Ferrero. Oh, okay. Talking about treats now. Amy in progress. I do love Ferrero Rocher, but I like the Raffaello, the white ones more. I like these ones more. I like the hazelnut, I think, better than almond. And I also like the crunchy nut bits on top of it. It's just a perfect treat for me. This is the only treat that, you know, if I don't buy them for myself, I get them from for Christmas every year. My family, although I tell them don't buy them because I'm going to eat them right away, I don't have any willpower if these are in the house. However many I have, I will empty these boxes within a day or two. It's impossible for me to withstand these. It's like, however much I try, nope, just keep eating them. You can get some, Jackie, you can get some very good synthetic brushes, but natural hair brushes are like whole another level and hold so much water. Yeah. Jackie, Emma, Jackie, I get such funny looks when I do the school run. All the mums are younger and very much yummy mummy. I have fibromyalgia, so I run hot anyway. Yeah, trust me, been there, done that. Well, not fibromyalgia, I have my other issues, but not that. But I'm always, like, don't get cold that easily. For me, Irish temperatures or Irish winter is never even, I don't even consider it that cold when it does get cold for local standards. You know, if you're coming from Estonia when you can get to -30 and here you get like -3 and the country stops, you know. Yeah, but it is different cold though, because it's much more much damper here, you know, much more moisture in the air, so cold feels colder and heat feels hotter. So if the temperature sounds like it's, you know, it's not that hot, it actually feels way hotter because the humidity. Color me, Amy. Mind, I'm not experienced, but in coloring books so far, I like cheaper brushes that hold less water. I can get your point. Yeah, it's probably better control. Yeah. It is easier to control a firmer brush. But you know, I'm mostly talking about these brushes for that sort of a technique, which is like it's called glazing, and those kind of beautiful. I really like them kind of a dropped color backgrounds, diluted and very watery backgrounds. I find a soft brush is better for these. And some books take them. For example, anything Hannah Carlson that is printed either in Netherlands or Sweden. Actually, the English ones take a fair bit of abuse as well. I have done pretty big floods there, and it takes it. Emilia Lidahal Öberg books take them. Karina Kubikowska books take a lot of abuse. Eileen Muldoon books, the ones that are printed in India, the newer ones, pretty much the newer prints, all take loads of water. There's quite a few books that you can actually go pretty nuts with water. Even in these, this is now Hachette Heroes books, the French published books. They take water pretty well. Not as well as some, but you can still put some water into them. Now this page is done all in gouache so far. So I thought I might as well carry on with gouache. I'm going to put things away because the pile I built next to me is getting a bit unmanageable, and things will not go well if I let it fester there. Okay. Fibro is not fun. Yeah, fibro. No. I don't have personal experience, but I have heard, that it's pretty nasty. Can you make brushes from cat and ferret hair? I have loads both all over the floor. Ferret might actually be an option. I don't know. Sable, ferret, probably not, but Cadbury Heroes, London Truffles. My brother bought me a massive bag of pick and mix sweets. Okay. My husband likes the kind of like swizzles and kind of vintage sweet type of things, like the squishies and all that sort of stuff. And so do my kids, actually, kind of a vintage lollipop type of stuff, and kind of a chewies, which I don't really enjoy much at all. I'm not a huge sweet person, to be honest. I love nuts. I could eat nuts without chocolate. That's the thing. For me, chocolate is a nice way to dress up nuts, not the other way around. I could just as happily just eat pure nuts. Jackie, you like Lindt or Linder chocolate or Terry's chocolate orange. Okay, that actually sounds viable choice, yes. Looking at another soy chocolate, I can eat triple the amount. Mint chocolate, Terry's chocolate orange. No, mint, no, I don't like mint chocolate. Or mint in any sweets, really. Except chewing gum, maybe. But I don't really do chewing gum anymore, but, no. Amy also loves Terry's chocolate orange. Chocolate. Most any. Yeah, no, chocolate has to be, I'm pretty selective with chocolates. For me, chocolate will only really for sure go if I'm going to put the light back on, hopefully. No, that's a bit better. Is that a bit better? For me, the chocolate works the best when there's nuts in it. There has to be nuts in it. Or maybe if there's no nuts, okay, at least a wafer of some sort. Plain chocolate for me really doesn't, it's fine. But wouldn't go really pick it from the drawer or anything. After 8s from the fridge, dark minty chocolate. Yeah, a lot of you loved the minty chocolate. I'm quite partial to Toblerones, original white and dark, but my teeth are not fans. I can see why. My daughter loves Toblerones, and my father-in-law, my you know, he's not with us anymore, but he used to love Toblerones. He would also, you can also always tell about people's sweet preferences, you know, for what you find under the tree, you know, what seed, usually there's like, on top of the presents under the tree, you would also have boxes of different chocolates or sweets, at least here, you know, in our family, that's a tradition. So when he was around, there was also like several big Toblerones under the tree. Sorry, drinking, mouth getting dry. Whew. No, Annika, I watched all of your first videos. You have awesome work on watercolor. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Rebecca. My Hannah Carlson handles water like a champ. Yeah, yeah. Hannah Carlson books handle watercolor very well. And Maria Cholle books as well, especially the ones that are printed in Sweden or in Netherlands. But the other ones, the UK printed ones at least, take it pretty well. Botanicum UK printed takes it pretty well. It actually blends on that paper very well and lays down. It just buckles quite a lot, you know, more than it probably would usually buckle. So, okay, let's see what I can do here. So this is now my beautiful dragon in the middle of snowfields. I thought about doing, see, I told you things were going to start falling, and they are. This dragon, yeah, I thought about some stage showing how I do gouache snow, because it's super easy, but I've already done the snow here, so Swizzles Palmer Violets. What are... Oh, Swizzles. Okay, yeah, well, there's some sort of a Swizzles. Our family, well, except me, all loved them. Cadbury block of Turkish Delight. Turkish Delight is too sweet for me, Cindy. Squishies. Emma, ooh, squishies. Dry roasted nuts. Dry roasted nuts are nice, though. Not peanuts, though. I can pretty much do all nuts except peanuts, and possibly not that keen on walnuts either. Walnuts can be inside cakes and stuff like that, and then they're actually nice. But on their own, I don't really want them. I do like pecans. Pecan nuts, whatever. Fries Turkish Delight, Cindy. I'd fight you for those. Jackie. Handbags at dawn. Minty anything feels like eating toothpaste. Exactly, Dutch Catcher. Exactly. You get me. I want to get a Sweden Maria book. Yeah. I think they are worth it. They actually feel flimsier. That's the funny part. When you see the Netherlands ones or the UK ones, the paper is actually thicker, so they feel thicker and more solid. But the Swedish paper takes both pencils and water really nicely. So I think it's, actually really great paper, but it looks deceptively like it's actually thinner and flimsier, which is funny. Can turtles are yummy too. All dragons breathe fire. I keep seeing a frightened snowman behind you. Walnuts look and probably taste like brains. No, thank you. Oh gosh, I love my choc mints. Walnuts are one of those cool foods that look like what they're good for. Brains. Rebecca, the mountains look amazing. Thank you. There's not huge amount of work I put into them, let's be honest. But yeah, gouache isn't now, if you do it the way I'm doing it anyway, it is not a fast material, but it's really enjoyable. And I like the way that, when everything is finished, all the lines are essentially gone and it becomes basically your work. Do you know what I mean? Okay, so here we go. I'm showing you another, Christmas present for myself. No, it's not Caran d'Ache. Ha ha, fooled ya. walnuts or one of the, let me see if I'm missing anything. Amy, I generously give you my Parma violets. Oh, Emma, you're such a sweetheart. Cause no, walnuts are awesome, especially together with thick cream cheese icing. No, carrot cake. Yes, yes. Walnuts are awesome in carrot cake. I said that they're nice in cakes. All right. I just don't like them particularly on their own. I think it's the skin on them. It has like a bitter feel or something like this. I don't know. Not my. But this is now my new gouache, and I discovered that this tin works exactly like I want. So I'm trying to now establish for myself what color is the dragon going to be. Because did you think I was going to had made my mind up before the video? No, no, I did not. I did not. Okay. Amy in progress. Very, I gladly accept. I know that they taste like perfume, but I just found them irresistible. I'm thinking, what else do I like? What sweets? Yeah, Kit Kats. Okay, if you go by kind of traditional, kind of or more widespread type of things, or that were hugely popular, I do like a Kit Kat. Oh, and Kinder Bueno. I like Kinder Bueno, but hazelnuts. So that pretty much is a giveaway. Sorry, I'm going to blow my nose now. I'm so sorry. I did try to turn my head away, but you probably heard my elephant blow anyway. As I said, the flu is coming. Okay, now I like them on top as well. I eat them all by themselves too, or with cheese boards. Actually, cheese board and walnuts, that sounds not bad. Huh. I like pecans though with cheese. But I like some cheeses that have walnuts in them. There's one place that sells here a cheese which has walnuts in it, and that's real nice. Cause crunchy bars with a hokey pokey. What is hokey pokey? Hokey pokey. Does a jar of Nutella count? That's better than any candy for me. You're priceless. Yeah. It's a treat. Come on. Doesn't have to be wrapped in a shiny wrapper to be a treat. Oh, hi, Emily. Crunchy bars are top tier chocolate bars. Emily, what's your favorite sweet? Go on, tell us all. And I'm trying to figure out what the heck I am going to do with that dragon. Well, I have an idea, okay, kind of vague, but I do have an idea. I want, see, the background is all here very light, very subtle, kind of almost colorless. So I thought I need to make at least dragon in strong colors. So I thought that this bit here would be in kind of red, brownish red or darkish red and yellow mix, and same kind of underbelly as well, and the tops of the wings here. And then I thought maybe basically most of the dragon would be like more yellow maybe here, more red here. Those spikes I think I might do green, and I would do those wings in a mix of kind of a dark blue and dark green, a bit of a like turquoisey colors tossed in. Well, I'm going to try and find something and squeeze out something into the same palette, because hey, but I first need to figure out which colors I'm going to pick. So I have my swatch book. So these are my present for myself. They are Le Franc Bourgeois gouache. They're actually really nice gouache. And it's usually quite expensive gouache. They're usually like €8 per tube or something like this. And for some reason, mysterious as heck reason. It was they just recently opened Irish Amazon, and some things are on mysterious. Now, most things are more expensive than UK one, which we used previously, but some things are mysteriously cheaper, and this one was less than half a price of the usual price for these. So I picked up loads of colors for myself in December, and now yeah, this is my collection now, and I'm happy with this. They're really nice. They are beautifully, you know, not all of them opaque because it depends on the pigment, you know. Even in gouache, not all gouache is super opaque either. Some gouache colors can be a bit less opaque, but most of the colors you can see yourself, you know, if you look at the side here, there's nothing glowing through. They're nice and opaque. The primary colors are usually a little bit more opaque, but yeah, beautiful colors, really nice deep ones, you know, like very pigmented, and really nice texture as well. So I need to figure out what colors I'm going to use. Let me check. Okie doke. Just a second. Ha ha ha. No. So maybe this Monaco green, which would be kind of ochreish vibes, and the Japanese yellow light for highlights. I could, of course, you know, just add the white to many things, but I, for convenience sake, picking up Japanese yellow light. I'm going to take the Monaco yellow, yeah. And for red, something, you know, a brownish red, maybe the Persian red. That's kind of a like leaning orange red. It's, do I have it here? Persian red, and maybe for mixing it, kind of a darkening it, I need to get some natural colors as well. So maybe I'm going to add maybe burnt sienna, brûlée, you know, burnt sienna. And at first I had trouble with French color names because it's a French brand of professional gouache. And I now need something for the wings. So for the spikes, I'm going to just pick up maybe indigo. I need something grayish, so I might actually take, well, titanium white is going to, white is always needed, and I might need a bit of indigo imitation. Yeah, I might do the horns with that, and then I need something green and kind of a turquoisey maybe. So maybe deep turquoise. Where are you? Deep turquoise. Come on, deep turquoise. And I need something green, but I want something fairly bright green. But these greens actually I'm not very keen on, to be honest. I might take this acacia green, yes, and that's for highlights more so, and mix it with possibly the dark olive, or actually this green, which is like super dark green, is basically like shadows. Okay, that's it. I'm going to take these out. Just probably too many of them. I could probably mix them more, but I'm not really bothered at the moment. No, and now I'm going to have a look at the chat also. What's happening? Okay, crunchy bars, we talked about that. Hokey pokey is basically honeycomb toffee. Okay, yeah, it's fine. It's edible. I'm not really that huge a fan of most sweets. Molasses cookies. Ooh, Christmas. They sound a bit like gingerbread, don't they? We used golden syrup, others use sugar. Heat it, then use baking soda and it puffs up. Huh. The stuff in the middle of the crunchy bars. That sounds interesting. Cheese board with dried figs is nice. That actually, yes, sounds legit. Well, you have a toothache. Oh, I'm so sorry. Especially now when most of the places are closed. Oh, Erika, bye. Thank you very much for joining us. And Happy New Year. I found a beaver picture of my dad and colored it. He loved it, I think. Oh, that's great, Emma. I actually meant to ask you, how did he like it? You like that gouache covers lines. Yeah, yeah. That's what I like about gouache a lot as well. Okay, drinking again. So let's maybe try to do the body, at least put the base down a bit. One thing about gouache is that it dries pretty fast as well, even if you go at it pretty aggressively. Okay, I need some tissues to get rid of this here. And this, and I want the middle for mixing. Okay, so I'm just leaving these bits because I'm going to use it for watercolor later as well. Pretty colors. Thank you. So I'm going to take the yellows and the reds now out first. I'm going to make a bit of a wash with them, and I'm actually using them kind of a bit like watercolors. So I'm making washes first. This is how you often would use gouache, that you start with very thin layers, and as you go on you get thicker and thicker and thicker. So you can't really glaze with it much. You're supposed to work from thinner to thicker. So the base I'm going to put down now is going to be kind of a more a more transparent, thin. Okay, so I'm going to put the colors down first, and here I'm not worrying about shading at all at first. I'm just putting kind of a color base down. I am starting with these 3 colors, and I'm going to make washes for them. Where is my squirty bottle? So what I'm going to do is I'm making little puddles of each. I'm putting water here, and you know, this way they actually become transparent. So where's my brush for gouache? I have several here. I'm using a lot of, basically any brushes that also are good for acrylic are going to be good for gouache. I'm using a lot because we as coloring book colorists, whatever we call ourselves, we work a lot in fairly small tight areas, so I find nail brushes are great. So these are different nail brushes. I like the cat's tongue ones, which kind of come to they're flat, but they come to the point at the end when they get wet. And I also like filberts for bigger areas. This is, I really like this Zhu Ting brand. I don't know if they sell under the same name anymore, but similar brushes are available. They're kind of from AliExpress and Temu and whatever. They are very cheap. They come in big sets, but they're actually nice brushes, especially kind of gouache and acrylic. Particularly acrylic, because acrylic destroys brushes. Even if you take really good care of them, you still eventually, it does destroy your brushes. So now I'm going to make, oh, where's my, I often, if I'm working with gouache, I don't use the big water tub because I like to control the water a bit, especially if I work in thicker areas, so I wouldn't go too wet. So I'm using this bottle. This is often meant for kind of like acetone or nail polish remover or that sort of a thing. You pump that down and you get liquid in that, a tiny bit of liquid. So I'm just taking a little bit of liquid here. I'm just using it for one color. When it's done, I wipe it off. I pump new water onto it. And it really works really well working with gouache. Specifically working with gouache, for some reason, I like working with this bottle. Okay, so here at the moment, I just gave it, you know, 1 or 2 pumps. And only reason is just I wet the brush slightly. And I'm starting with the lightest color, and I'm making a big wet wash. And now I have tissue. I'm wiping most of it off, then I'm dipping into this, oops, so you can see, dipping into this and wiping it off a couple of times like this. And if I want to, although I don't really need to because it's a lighter color, I tap on it, the color is gone, and I have clean water again. It's just, you know, I use so little water, it's kind of nice and neat on coloring desk. For some reason it really appeals to me. And I make a next color, which is going to be this color. So it's called Moroccan yellow, so it's darker, slightly ochreish color, pretty much yellow ochre, at least, you know, to my eye it looks very much yellow ochre, you know, earthy dark yellow. And once again, wiping it off, excess off, dip it in water, wipe more, dip it in water, wipe more, and you essentially get fairly, you know, clean brush with that. And now I'm taking a bit of that Persian red, and I'm making another wash here. And this is just for making a base, okay? We're not doing any shading there or anything, but I find that this at the moment is a little bit too dark. So I might add, well, I need to get some white out anyway. This is my well for white. So I keep my white always there. There's a pile of white there already, which is all dried up. I use it anytime I need white. I kind of moisten this well a little. So I might pick a tiny bit of white in just to lighten that color a bit. So that really intense one would be more in shading and, you know, kind of darker areas. So I want the base to be slightly lighter. Now, these colors should be fine. Maybe I should add a little bit white to this yellow as well, just to kind of soften and lighten it. This yellow, obviously, the really bright one, is fine, and it will not go into many areas. More white in there. And that, of course, now what happens with when you put white into any of these colors, even into washes, these now automatically became more opaque because you put white into them. Obviously. Okay, so let me see what's happening. Can you mix? Okay, let me see what's up there. Work of small pretty colors. Jackie, I'm literally eating brie and fig butter right now. Jackie, can you mix gouache colors easily, Annika? Yes, gouache colors are very easily mixed. Yes, gouache mixes really well. Color me, Amy. I tried gouache in a book once and it made me feel like a kindergartner. It's all about kind of learning how to layer it and how to build it a bit and how to blend it also. I'm not saying, like, I'm learning it at the moment. This is me learning. I haven't really gotten super far, but I find that you can get pretty cool results. Watching intently. So yeah, I'm learning, okay? So here I want to have, I'm putting down the lightest color first. So I have, let me see if I can get you closer. Probably better if you get a bit closer, okay? That probably works a bit better. And I have a bit of a tissue here underneath the palette, so I wouldn't immediately mess things up. So I'm at the moment working only on these areas. I'm not working the insides of the wings or the little horn bits on the dragon. And I will get first down this lightest color, and I'm putting that, and you can see how it's just at the moment like opaque watercolor, but it's already blurring the lines fair bit. You could just use it as a watercolor as well, and you can actually, if you dilute it to this extent, you can easily always put pencils on top of it as well, and it essentially behaves like a watercolor, only opaque one, and you get lovely matte finish with it. So absolutely it can be just used as watercolor. So oops, I was a bit sloppy here. I'm going to put it as a base down, because that's essentially the highlight color for those areas. So I'm putting at the moment the lightest color down. And if it's like liquid like this, it's also super easy to blend into each other. And I'm working in just cat's tongue nail brush. So, in case you were wondering, nothing fancy here, no sir. I'm so thirsty. Oh, I don't know what's going on. Terrible. I love the color of this bottle, don't you? And the sticker, the frog with the rose. I stole my daughter's bottle because I couldn't. Mine was in dishwasher, and my daughter's one was readily available on the kitchen worktop, so I stole hers, as you do. And as a loving daughter, she didn't protest much, because she had bottle already. She has like, I don't know, so many bottles. And yeah, I'm just putting very thin layer here at the moment. And this color is going to just glow from underneath, or mostly be eventually covered anyway. So it would be too bright on its own. But I'm just putting it down in the areas where there would be the brightest highlights. You don't have to super blend it out towards the edges, because there's going to be stuff on top of it anyway. If you want to, you can soften the edges, which I kind of did here a bit, but you don't really have to. So, because in the snow and in the mountains I worked opaque pretty much from the beginning. I didn't really do kind of a transparent layer. But here, because it's the main element, I will probably have to do kind of more blending and more work. Okay. And layering, so it would look good, and more details on it. Eventually, at first, of course, it's just going to be flat colors. You always start with pretty much flattish colors. So I'm also going to run that yellow like this over the spine, So there would be a bit of a more highlight there. And you see, it behaves essentially like watercolor at the moment. And bit here. And none of it, you know, is going to stay in that color in these areas. I'm at the moment just putting for myself down this kind of a hint what it's going to be. You know, where the highlight areas are. And eventually I'm going to work them over with more kind of opaque colors, but okay, and now I'm not taking the kind of an ochreish color. And I'm running it into the sides. And where I want it to be like smooth transition into some other color, which I might, I just take tiny bit of water onto the brush. I tap the excess off and I'm just softening like this that area. It's super easy to blend gouache like this. And it actually goes faster when you're not doing it on the camera once again, and when you're not explaining, because I don't know why usually, you know, all that goes twice as fast. So this is the second layer, and here I'm bringing it into this yellow as well, bringing it up into this yellow. And you can see I'm not working much, but particularly tidy here at all. Okay, putting that color down. And now once again I want to slightly blend some areas, so I wet it. I tap the excess water off. It can't be too wet, then you're just taking the paint off. It needs to be damp. And then I go over gently, so it wouldn't be too wet. In the transition areas, just very gentle move. And you wash it off, you tap it off, and you just go over. No hard rubbing, because if you rub hard, you're just going to take the paint off. So you need to work pretty gently. And if it gets too dry, dip it in the water again, tap it on the paper here, and just over the transition area. And here I can see that this is very uneven, although there's going to be plenty of layers there, but I still want a bit more even base here. Because I'm putting it down very roughly here. This is just the base for all the textures and everything that needs to be. And there's going to be more color variations also. Okay. And now, and if you get some color into other areas, don't worry about it all, because remember, this is an opaque material. So anything that is going to go on top of this one is just going to cover. So that's one of the things about gouache, you know, your mistakes just get covered. Okay, so I want a bit more of the color here, intensify it here. Wash it out, tap it, and run it over the transition line. And the faster you do that, of course, the easier and the smoother it's going to be, the transition there. Can I get you a bit closer, maybe? Yes, I can. Okay, now we're moving to the, okay, the face now. Let's do the face a bit as well. So, taking that Monaco, I'm turning it around. That would make more sense than trying to push it into the shot, does it? Genius. So clever. Here we go. And the face, there's going to be a fair bit of darkness there, but I'm going to leave a bit of a lighter area here. There's going to be, you know, all this So this is going to be mostly the base color of the face. There's going to be a lot of red there as well. And then, you know, the lighter red that I created. And then there's going to be shading in even darker reds and so on and so on and so on. Okay, I actually should have, you know, this needs to be, I can put that on later. There needs to be highlight here on top of the nostril. I kind of went over it, but that's fine. That can be always put in later. So I dipped it once again into the water, tap it onto the napkin, and then go over gently the transition areas like this, and it just pretty much self blends here as well. Main thing is not to rub aggressively. It just blends and activates so easily that you don't have to go rubbing at it. It's just kind of a gentle movement, and of course the faster the better. It's easier to do it right away as opposed to go back and do it, but you can. But you have to remember that it needs to be damp, not wet, the brush, when you're blending. Okay, sorry. I missed some questions, so I'm having a look. Emma, where is your palette from, please? I love it. Whoo! That one was pretty sure from Temu. Yeah, one of the super cheap ones. Sorry to say, it's nothing fancy. It's pretty sure it was Temu, yeah. I might be able to find it for you eventually if I go looking for it. I was wondering if the gouache dries like acrylic and more permanent than watercolor. No, it's not more permanent than watercolor. It does activate pretty much infinitely. You just need to know how to layer it so you wouldn't disturb the layers underneath. It actually activates more easily in a way than watercolor does. So, you know, you can be endlessly reworking it if you wanted to. It does dry almost as fast as acrylic, that's true. But it does behave a lot like acrylic. You know, the layering and the logic is very similar to acrylic. Acrylic gouache, yes, does, Jackie, yeah. But this is your regular classic gouache. This very much, you know, is going to be always able, you're always going to be able to reactivate that, which is why you can get maybe a bit bolder with the washes, and, you know, you can do different effects with it. You can essentially use it, you know, as I am at the moment, watercolor first, and then work on top of it with thicker paints, with putting in textures and different shading and so on. Jackie, I find that talking while I work slows the whole process down a lot. When I'm on my own, I work a lot faster. Yes, that's true. And also, you know, when I'm following the chat as well, which I love doing it. I actually adore those lives. I think they're really enjoyable. But, you know, if I'm doing the chat as well, that, you know, slows things down even further, so it feels like, you know, I get almost nothing done, and I'm even slower than I am. And I am slow. I'm not saying that I'm not. Jackie, I think I'm going to have a bit of a learning curve with these. Yeah, but they are really, really nice to work with and interesting, and there's so many possibilities because you literally can use them as watercolors, and you also can use them as almost like an acrylic. So now I'm going to add, starting kind of shaping the dragon. So I'm putting that color down. I ran out of paint, and it's easier to do it while the paint is still slightly wet, you know, than having to rework over afterwards. So I just slightly dampened the brush, and I'm just running it over the edge like this. Essentially, it's like watercolor, isn't it? Oops, I'm out of shape with a shot. Okay, that was really useful for you all. Okay, let's do it again. So I'm going to put it on this side now. And so shaping, essentially. So there's a bit here. Taking some more of that Monaco yellow. just evening things out a little bit. Okay, tipping it into the water again, the brush, tapping it onto the tissue so it's not too wet. And I'm, as I said, the faster I do it, the better. Into the water again, just dampen it more, tap it out again so it wouldn't be too wet. And I'm just pulling the brush over it, and you get kind of a soft transition here. I could have actually gotten it more upwards, but okay, I have to redo it because I actually want it more here. They were stronger here. And gouache also need to remember that light colors become darker as they dry, and darker colors become lighter when they dry. So color values change slightly as they dry. So you kind of need to get used to it. But yeah. So here. Does that dragon look as true he's wearing a corset? I think it's supposed to be like this straw weaving effect, like woven straw effect, like some ornaments have in Scandinavia. I think that's what they're going for, this pattern here. But that's what, what I saw the first moment I saw this pattern. So once again shaping, but I'm putting that color down pretty generously here with the bottom. Okay, as a base, dampen brush, tap it onto the tissue and gently pull it over, and once again dampen, tap, and dampen, tap. There. Soft transitions. Okay, so what am I missing here? Emma, I think I'm going to have to invest in some gouache. It looks easy, and watercolors. It could be. It depends what materials suit people, Then, did I miss a question? Okay, Jackie, can you use masking fluid with gouache or nickel? Yes, you can. Yes, exactly the same as you can use it with watercolor or acrylic. You can, yes. Emma, I'll give you 3 guesses about what my chihuahua is doing now. Is he licking you? Wilcox Mama, oh yes, oh my yes, I don't get anything done while I live stream chats. Yeah, it's that things move slowly. But they do move, so could be worse. Okay, so let's do the bottom of this leg too. Let's see. There's actually going to be red on top of all these colors as well. So this base essentially is going to be like 3 colors. But I'm starting from the lightest. And here I'm just going over. Once again, I dip it in the water, tap it out in the tissue, and just going over very gently with that area. There you go. Magic! Oh. So, like, smooth transitions with gouache washes are really easy to achieve. Later on, when you actually get in more kind of a thicker paints, the transitions can get a bit trickier, but once you get used to them, they're pretty alright. Jackie, thanks for answering, Annika. It's going to help a lot. Oh, that's perfect. Any questions? Like, of course, I'm answering you to my abilities. Once again, reminding you all, I'm not a gouache expert here. I am essentially kind of learning for myself gouache, but I am finding it a very nice material. And I like the results, as I said. You know, I like the background already. That's coming out of it. And I like how you can get rid of, you know, if there's like annoyingly strong lines, you can totally get rid of them. So once again, going over the transition here with the damp brush. And you don't have to. You can just put in different textures, different lines, and not soften everything out to oblivion. It's just I want the base to be reasonably blended out. Okay, so I'm actually going to make that tail tip, putting that yellow down. This is going to, and all those colors are going to change, and I'm going to add more textures because I want that, you know, I need to put sharper lines into those weaves and stuff like this. So oops. Okay, I got it onto the snow, but that's fine. I can just make the tail a bit wider there with the more opaque paint eventually. That's fine, you know, if something goes a bit off the rails, it's easier to fix. Okay, I need to get more paint in here to put more here. Just giving a little bit of a shape to the tail. Okay, I'm running out of water now in the pump, so I'm pumping more water into that little well there on top. And this thing isn't absolutely necessity. I just find that if I work with gouache, you don't want huge amounts of water. You know, you just keep your brush more or less clean. So this helps me to kind of control and not to get my brush too wet, that system. But, you know, this is also individual. Everybody has their different ways how they approach. You know, a lot of people just work very wet, you know, like proper washes, and I just find little water, tiny bit of water actually more beneficial. This is, once again, not a rule. More of a, you know, the way I find it easier to work. And here as well, I'm going to just leave it like this and tap, you know, clean the brush into that, tap it into the water, tap it here. And I'm just running it over that line so it would be slightly softer. That's all. No more rubbing or overworking it. And take more paint again. And I'm going to make a little bit of a shading here as well. Okay, wipe it out, tip it in the water, tap excess water out. Yeah, that's about it. That's as easy as it goes. I will also probably need, I would actually like to make this area slightly darker, so the nose, there will be a shadow there eventually. No. Okay, so any questions? Looks so smooth. Yeah, it's, you know, just to show that you can essentially use gouache as watercolor. That's why it makes so bloody versatile. That you can go heavily into textures, but you can also just do very, very subtle. Okay, and now I'm going to put in Now this is the red. Need a bit more on my brush. And have a first layer of reds. Okay, I take it to there, and this bit I'm actually leaving, and here there's going to be shadow behind the horn things, and here this is going to come down to the horn here, and maybe here like this. And here's the shadow underneath the horn thing. And just now shaping it a little bit more. Once again, rinse it slightly, making sure that I'm tapping it. Where's my... Okay, somehow I took the wrong brush, that explains it. And yeah, this one I kind of let it sit too long. Sometimes it's just better to do smaller areas but soften. Okay, I put too much water in. I'm damaging now the lines there. See, that's why I need to make sure that I'm not working with too wet brush. Like this. So, what time is it now? Well, we have a little bit more time. No rush yet. So there, that's where we're going. That's where we're going. So, you can deepen it now. Once it dries, another layer, and another layer, and another layer, and you can go pretty much forever. Okay, let me look here. When I was younger, those woven straw dolls were in fashion. My mom had traditional Swedish straw ornaments on her Christmas tree this year. They are beautiful. I love those straw ornaments. I have a pair of Dala horses too, and out of all my model horses, they're a favorite. Aww. I think, Jackie, I think in the past I may not have diluted them enough and ended up with a chalky mess. It is like there's actually way to work with them pretty thick as well. For example, here I did not dilute them that much at all, or they were, of course, slightly wetted down, because you don't work with the consistency usually that comes out of the tube. It depends on the brand, but most of the brands, when it comes in kind of a very thick consistency, you do need to dilute it somewhat for it. The good consistency, if you are doing more opaque, but kind of blending on the paper in a style of acrylic, would be kind of heavy cream. It's not supposed to be like really heavy blobby paint that you put on. It needs to be paint that you kind of runs easily with the brush, that you can easily apply. I don't know how to explain it. Losing my mind here. Yeah. So here. Let's put it here. And here. Here I'm once again softening the bit here, softening the bit here. I need to put a little bit here as well. And it just, kind of builds You kind of decide where your shapes are going to be. You put the shadow down, you soften the edges. But this is not what it's going to look like eventually, because the main joy of working with gouache is eventually getting to these more opaque layers and putting in textures and, you know, essentially making it almost opaque. But here I wanted to have a bit of a base. So the actual shadows are going to be a fair bit darker, but this is going to be a base that occasionally glows through. Color me, Amy. Jackie, I definitely didn't dilute them enough after watching this. Yeah, this is one way of working them, and this is base layer. You do go on top eventually with, you know, every layer. You know, first you do the base if you want to. You can go in with thick paint like I did here as well. But you put in base layer and then you start building on top of it. Every layer should be slightly thicker than previous layer. This is how you build them up. But you start, if you start like this, you know, you start with a bit more. You start with fairly diluted, the thinnest layer. So, Rebecca, everyone, I'm going to have to leave early. If I don't see you around, have a happy new year. Bye, and thank you, Annika. Learn every time. Oh, thank you, Rebecca. And have a lovely new year. And hopefully we'll maybe see you next live stream. Okay, Jackie, I think the ones I had were really cheap, student grade too. I'm quite excited for mine to arrive. I bought Meaden, so I'm hoping the quality is okay. I don't have any experience with Meaden, so I can't really tell are they going to be good or bad or anything like. But pigmentation is a huge thing. You know, like with any paint really. It's not just gouache, but the more pigmented they are, the easier, of course, they are to work with. And the better they go down, the better they cover. They should be, at least most of them, not all the colors, because it does depend on the pigment. Some pigments are just less transparent, and there's nothing that can be done about much unless they add white to that tube already. Some of them are not particularly opaque coming out from the tube, but you can definitely tell, you know, about how they're going down. You know, that if it's nice and covering and goes down smoothly and doesn't have kind of this, you know, out of the tube kind of a streaky finish, then it should be decent quality gouache. Just a second, I'm going to show you once again quickly on my swatches. You can tell from there that these are really nice. But, you know, these are artist quality ones. I wouldn't have bought them if they weren't as good of a deal as they were on Amazon IE. I would have never bought them for the full price. But I couldn't resist, you know, when I saw that price. Okay, so sorry, I'm going to get back to here. This, I don't know how well you can see, you know, how nice and smooth and kind of a flat they go down, and how well they cover. In these ones, I just kind of mixed kind of a dirtily in some white into the colors. That's why they look slightly streaky, because I didn't really even them out. I just wanted to see what colors they would give me if I put white in. So I kind of quickly, you know, put some white into the colors. That's why they look a bit weird at the ends there. But you can see how opaque they are. So this is, you know, ideally you have pretty opaque colors. That really helps. Okay, so I'm going to, this area should be pretty dark. I want this area darker. And just go all the way here. I want this area pretty dark eventually. So I'm just putting more red down there. And once again. And it just builds. And it goes actually faster than it feels at the moment. It's just, as I say, you know, the fact that you're on the camera, that you're chatting, that you're, you know, talking while you're coloring, all that kind of slows it down. But it is not that slow, as it, you know, as slow as it seems. Cheaper ones, oh, Wilcox Mama, about cheaper ones were the only ones I experienced that chalkiness. I'd be curious to see what those medians do. Yeah, I actually would like to see as well, Jackie, you know, how those medians are. I don't have any experience with these. I haven't really seen many reviews about them either, because I have plenty of gouache now, you know. I don't need any more gouache. Although I'm very tempted by Holbein ones, because I have the Holbein acrylic ones, only pastel ones, but I do have them and they're really nice. They just go down so smooth. So I'm very, very, very tempted, and I'm telling to myself pretty much constantly that I do not need them. That strategy has not worked for me very well in the past. So I'm trying to convince myself that no. Now, bringing that down even further. Oops, I'm kind of trying to get that closer so you can actually see what I'm doing here. Okay, this brush, the other brush was better for doing. So you can kind of experiment a little bit with the brush you like better. With that technique, is slightly harder, kind of a not super soft brush is slightly better. And here it looks like the paint became darker. It's actually, you know, everything that becomes wet kind of looks slightly darker for a moment. Once it dries, it just becomes all even and nice again. So no worries about that, you know, next to it. So sorry, my little elephant blew. Oh, Holbein. Now that's my love language. Call me Amy, I have Holbein, I got it used, so it was me and not the paint. Aww. Oh, Holbein, yeah. Well, I haven't tried the actual Holbein gouache. Okay, I have only tried the acrylic one. But I have heard that, you know, Holbein gouache is just, you know, amazing. This is, once again, you know, I have heard. I haven't tried myself, so I can't really say in any way or shape if it's actually, you know, in my opinion, good or bad. This is just me saying what other people have shouted out somewhere. So, I don't really know. I do have some very basic colors, but, you know, very mixable, of course, because, of course, it is very mixable. I have some Winsor & Newton designer's gouache, which is considered to be another, you know, kind of a top of the line, you know, one of the best ones around. And it really is nice. It goes down really super smooth. But I like the fact that in this range I do have now kind of those more convenience colors and different temperatures that I can pick from. So that's kind of nice. You know, sometimes you want to have those color choices. Amy, Holbein, yeah, Holbein is fantastic. Well, as I said, I know acrylic one. I don't know that. The gouache is gorgeous. My swatches were perfect. My execution is in progress. Try with that technique, even if it isn't, you know, the most professional technique, which it certainly isn't. It's a good technique to learn with, you know, kind of building up like this with thin layers first, and then, you know, go thicker and thicker where you want texture and shadows. That, you know, can actually give you probably better results when you're still learning. And then as you get more bold and more experienced, you can try out with other kind of different methods. Okay, I want to kind of, there's no mouth drawn to that dragon, and I want to have a bit of a mouth there, so it's going to be eventually there. And I want this to go to the top of the nostril. Okay. Wetting a bit. I actually want to bring it a bit more upwards, that shadow here. Here we go. I kind of forget about chatting sometimes when I start concentrating on, you know, how I'm going to build something here eventually, because I do have a picture in my head what I eventually want to eventually. So at the moment it doesn't really show, but hopefully I'll get there at some stage. Jackie, I like the quality of the mead and oil pastel, so I thought I'd chance the gouache. I will let you know. Yeah, that would be great, because, you know, I've never tried anything from mead and really, to be honest. Amy, sometimes Emma says, Amy, sometimes the more expensive the art supply, the more difficult and pernickety it is to use. It may not have been you. Color me, Amy. Yes, definitely. I'm going to try again. It was still fun, even if I wasn't the artist of my dreams. You'll get there. It all takes time, you know. Any skill, we're not born with them, you know. We need to build them up as we go. Okay, I need to do the side here as well. I want to put a fair bit of red down here. This is kind of this brownish, really warm red. It almost has like terracotta vibes when it's diluted down a bit, but it is red. I might eventually bring in kind of stronger and cooler red as well, but I'll see if I decide to do that or not. Once again, I just softly created a shadow there. Oh, by the way, I kind of planned to ask and talk about it, but then forgot all about it. What, did you get any cool coloring supplies from Santa? Or did you do the Santa for yourself? Because I did some, you know, I was my own Santa about coloring supplies, which, you know, gouache is one of them. Do you have anything like that? Well, Jackie, it might have been your gouache, I guess, that you got yourself. Would count. Well, to me it would anyway. Yeah, because, you know, once I get this really transparent layer down, I will start eventually working with more opaque layers. And that's when the lines are starting to disappear and so on. But you can at first just practice in doing that sort of a blend and, you know, not going very opaque to start with, and just, you know, creating those smooth blends like this. And on top of these, you can go with pencils, by the way. you know, that sort of a thickness. So it's absolutely possible to go on top of this with pencils. Now I want nice deeper color here at the bottom of the tail as well. There we go. Just pulling it up like that. And I think I want the tip of the tail fairly red as well. And also if you add, let's say, white to some paint in a thin wash like this, when you start using it, don't forget to mix it, because white is heavier, and if it's stood like that in pre-made wash, it falls to the bottom. So if you just take from the top, you get this very transparent and weak, a pinkish red diluted paint first. Whereas if you mix it nicely up, you get more opaque paint of the correct color that you mixed up. So kind of try to remember that, because I sometimes forget. I did that again. This brush is slightly on the big side, but you can, you know, pick paint up pretty easily. And you can always go in with a little bit of white. You know, things are very easily covered and fixed with the gouache. Okay. And once again, you know, mixing it up a little bit, because I kind of didn't mix a couple of times, and I got this really thin, weak mixture that didn't go on top of other a bit more opaque layers, and I was wondering what was going wrong, but you know, I just didn't do what I should do and properly mix up the color, especially if it has been standing a little while, as I said. There we go. And it's easier to blend out as well if it's slightly more opaque. You know, the way I'm blending out. Slightly more opaque, slightly more thick paint is easier to blend out that way than like super thin wash. Okay, so let's talk about loot. Okay, let me scroll down. I missed some information here. Oh, you're going to have on Wednesday a play, Jackie. Yeah, oh, that would be great. I would love you to play with them. I got, oh, Emma, you got the alcohol marker stand. Yes, it's beautiful. Yes, they are. Your brother got you a Johanna Basford book that I already have 2 copies of. My son got me this book. Bless him, you know, he did, you know, like, he got mom a coloring book, so 10 points. But yeah, I will actually, you know, definitely try, you know, as a relaxation thing. It's actually going to be nice, and they're Celtic, then some interesting designs, you know, that for an example. Sounds fun. That would suit you really well, by the way, Emma. Horses. But yeah, so I will work on it. You know, it would look cool with different metallics and acrylic markers and such. I would have fun in there. So, okay, where was I? Amy, I was my, Color Me Amy, I was my own Santa. I got Supracolor 2 watercolor pencils. Ooh, these are nice. I have Pablos, which are, I don't have the Supracolors. I have the Pablos, which are the same colors. Only, you know, it's different pencils. And those are one of my favorite pencils. I really like Pablos. So I can just imagine how nice they are. Have you tried them out yet? Okay, I'm going to make that area a bit darker, adding a bit more color there. I'm building up now, so I would like to put more aggressive depth in there. This is eventually I'm going to go in with kind of a thicker colors and darker colors. I might put and then eventually, once you put really dark shadows in, then you take opaque lighter paints and you can then put in highlights over other paints and also blend them out essentially the same way you take the damp brush, and very gently once again, so you wouldn't wake up the previous layers. You go over the edge, and once again it works the best if you do it pretty fast, but you can do it afterwards, you know, once it's have been stewed a little bit as well, because those colors do reactivate. Gouache does, you know. It's actually easier to go and fix mistakes and kind of build things up and add things in gouache than in watercolor, because it's easier to reactivate gouache in a way. Okay, so let me see what else is there. So Emma, so I ordered some acrylic markers and the new Langoa pen colors for myself. Aww. These are all good things, and they have really lifted my pages, both of those products, so much. Those books we get troubles of make perfect playbooks, Emma. Okay, Wilcox Mama Jazz. Santa got me the limited edition Neo 2 portrait set. Oh, that actually sounds nice. And the last 2 Lulu Maya books I wanted. Oh, we went really well for you. And Jackie, I didn't get any gold-rated gifts, but I ordered the gouache and I bought enough books in December. Yeah, my book pile grew in December as well. After I had actually kind of decided, okay, I'm going to thin out my books a little bit. Somehow, instead of having less books than in the beginning of December, I think I have more books. Because I got some lovely presents in December, and I also ordered a couple of books that, you know, in all the fairness, I had wanted, you know, for a while. So I don't feel bad about these. But I will definitely have to kind of, I feel like, you know, whole video is going to happen because there's few books now, new stuff there that, you know, I wasn't anticipating, and all, you know, really cool stuff. There's so many things to play with, and I haven't really had much playtime, or to be honest, you know, on some Christmas related days also energy to know how it goes. So, okay, I can put some light tones on it afterwards. I've darkened the bits here too much. Okay. I like eBay books that are already colored in for playing in. Something about being broken in is very freeing for me, Amy. Yeah, I could see that. Yeah. Yeah, I see what you mean. I think I would have the same feel. Sorry, I missed something now. I kind of scrolled and things got lost. Yeah, Amy, that is a great idea. Yeah, yeah. Jackie, I've almost filled my allotted space for books on the bookcase. I might need to do a declutter in my granddaughter's coloring card. Yeah, I get it. Cindy, do you have a link for that bottle or what it's called? You can try pump bottle for nail polish removal on Amazon. They're usually like super cheap. And if you get one, get, you know, that style of a plastic one. Let me see. Oops. They're like this one. I'd say it's about maybe 300 milliliters, that one. They come in different sizes as well, you know. But this one, you know, if I'm looking at the size 250, 300, something like this would be the size. So handy. And it's so nicely controllable, you know, because you don't want huge amounts of water on the gouache pages. Even when you're using the washes, you still should kind of pre-mix them and put them down. So yeah, I find that one really great. Let me see if I just, you know, go onto Amazon and put in the search the way I would look. Plastic pump bottle nail polish removal. Let me see if that gives me. See, if I went on Amazon, I tried on my tablet here, I put in plastic pump bottle nail polish removal, and I got different options for it. And you get like, you know, that's now Amazon UK, so there's 2 bottles of 200 milliliters, which probably would be fine for €7. You know, they're cheap. They're not expensive. I like the ones, these kind of transparent ones, the simplest ones. I don't know exact bottle, if you know, if you'd have. They have those metal and glass ones as well. I've tried them. They are not as nice. That metal pump doesn't work as well for some reason, and they're usually super flimsy. Get the plastic ones. But I can't see the exact same size or exact same bottle as I have here, but it doesn't really matter, you know, all of them work essentially the same way, I think. So, sorry, side tangent. There's another colorist on here who likes to fix already completed pages, Amy. I think Sapphire Colors loves doing that. Cindy, I got 360 acrylic markers in a cute little suitcase. 360? I don't think I know that's a terrifying that's a terrifying amount of markers. Is that the Hoo ones or is it acrylic markers? Okay, yeah. So I presume Guangna or something like this. They're great. They are fantastic. And 72 Derwent drawings and woo! Yeah, Elaine at Sapphire Colors. Yeah, she does fantastic work. She's super creative to start with, you know, whatever page she, you know, goes for, it's always going to be interesting and, you know, kind of a very different and very her looking. Like, you recognize her pages right away because she has such kind of a strong vibe, you know that those are Elaine's pages. Like her signature. Supracolors have the same range as Pablo's. Question. Yes, Supracolors and Pablo's are like polychromos and Durers, to my knowledge anyway. They essentially have the same colors. Oh, Lucy, hi Lucy. You arrived on time, even though more towards the end than the beginning. Never heard of her, Jackie. I'll check her out tonight. Sapphire Colors. Oh, really? You haven't heard of it? Oh, She is so talented and so creative. It's just fantastic work. Supra colors, yeah, Color Miami. Yes, I got the Supra colors because Pablos are my favorite color range. Yes, beautiful color range. I love the color range actually better than the Polychromos slash Duros color range. I think it's more interesting and more difficult colors, although it's in a way the Polychromos can be a bit more balanced in a way, but I, for example, like the Supracolor and Pablo's grays better than I like the grays in Polychromos, and so on, like, you know, so many. Okay, a curious-minded seeker. My gift to myself was a Kuretake brush pen set. I am quite a fan of all their products. It turns out my favorite pens all around seem to come from them. Yes, Kuretake brush are the. You mean the? Do you mean the real brush pens? Yeah, they are amazing. You have a small set of Pablos, yes, and they are beautiful. Valerie, her dragon is looking beautiful. It's only really a base of a dragon. I'm going to put, you know, loads of darker shading onto it, but I need to kind of let it dry a little bit now to put more on, because it's a good idea to let the gouache, if you're doing it in layers like that, to get the previous layer to dry properly before you put the new ones in, because if the previous ones are still a bit wet or damp, you stand more, it's more of a danger that you're going to wipe off the previous layers. So it's a good idea to kind of have a bit of a patience, or work between 2 pages maybe, or, you know, if I was working the wings as well, if I had the colors out, I don't want to put new colors out at the moment, because I won't really have probably time to starting kind of a new colorways here in the wings. But, you know, I would let the body dry and I would do the wings maybe, you know, you know, to let things dry in between. So that's also one thing that I kind of forgot to mention. This is something you should do with gouache. Okay, so who has been a good girl? Emma, I know how you feel, Annika. I'm just about managing to do color by numbers. Yes, I get it. At the moment, my brain hasn't been with it. I'm going to have very few pages this month, but that's fine. You know, not every month has to be, you know, super successful coloring wise. I have done my bit, you know, I have tried, and I have enjoyed the pages I have been doing, but yeah, nothing spectacular or not many pages this month. It's just, you know, one of these months. Last month I consider for myself really kind of a successful coloring month, so it probably, you know, was bound to happen that December was a bit off. Okay, Lucy Fox, I got plenty of books this year without Santa's help, but Santa gave me a 150 set of Chroma Flows, woo, and 72 set of Colorsoft. Double who? Wow! Wow! Lucy, you lucky duck. No, they're both fantastic pencils. So you're swatching them now while you enjoy my live stream. That is great. That is the best way to do it. Oh, I hope you had wonderful Christmas, Hanukkah, Yule, or whatever, or of year holiday you all celebrate. Yes, we had good. Well, I had good time anyway. Diane. Okay, I got some Holbein gouache. I love gouache. Ooh, see, you got gouache. I love collage. Thanks for the recommendation. Curious Minded Seeker. Yeah, she does. Elaine does really cool stuff. Can anyone update me on the book Annika's coloring? Oh, Lovely Dragon. Okay, this book is called. I'm still planning to eventually do a flip through of that book. But I want to kind of work a little bit more, and I only have, you know, this kind of in this book. I just haven't had time or energy to kind of get anywhere. This is Dragons du Monde by Diane Dufour. That's a relatively new book. It is a new book. I think it came out in November, possibly, but I only got it, you know, just a couple of weeks ago, well, more a week ago, something like this. So Yeah, but I haven't had really chance to color in it as much as I would have liked to, because I do plan to do a flip, but I always now want to at least have, a page finished, or, a bit more work done in it, so I can form opinions more, how things work on it. And so far it's been withholding, to the water media real well, but to be honest now, most of the papers, even Amazon paper, can take gouache. If you don't work with super thin gouache layers, if you go in with kind of a more of a creamier gouache consistency. I have done gouache pages on the crappiest, the most awful Amazon paper, the ones that Matchstick Mouse comes on and so on. Just a second, I'm going to see if I have the book here. No, I don't have it here with me at the moment. I've done a full page in any day with gouache, and it came out fine. So even in these books, because it's more kind of viscous and thicker and opaque, and somehow it doesn't damage the paper as much, so you can actually work with water material in books that don't take water very well, because the pigment essentially doesn't go through, it stays on top of paper as long as you don't go too watery. If you take it too watery, it will eventually destroy the paper in these books. But if it's kind of a creamy consistency, you can totally work in Amazon books and most of books that don't take water very well, which is another reason why I want to get into the gouache more, because there's loads of those books that have paper that you think is kind of okay and nice, but actually you can't even use water-based markers on it without them going poof through. And gouache would be a really good option in these, as is acrylic paint. So, sapphire, I think it's with double F probably, not with PPH. Try sapphire colors with SAFFIRE, maybe that will work. I have this kind of a vague recollection that it might have been something like this. Let me check. If I just go to my YouTube, let me see. If I go to YouTube and okay, so what is going on? Okay, so sapphire colors. Okay. Okay, it changes. It changed again with sometimes. Okay, F. Did that work? No, I don't know why it doesn't. Okay, found it. It is sapphire colors. It's written like this. Sapphire colors. Search with that username and you get, and her work is just like, in a top tier. Amazing. Oh, you already found her. Okay, sorry. Emma, oh, I found one Uhuhu marker. 47 to go. Okay, Can, I'm off to eat lasagna and watch some basketball. Enjoy, Can, enjoy. Okay, I'm going to be finishing up soon as well. I'm feeling a bit more tired than usual today. I think the Christmas are taking their toll on me. Sorry that I didn't get as far as I wanted with the dragon, but I kind of wanted to let it dry, and now it would take me too long to kind of add another layer. So sadly, we have to finish up here. But hopefully everything going well. We will meet again next week. I will also try to publish some videos next week. I will definitely publish very soon my video about my favorite pages for 2025, and that, by that I mean my personal favorite pages, not, you know, what were the most popular ones or whatever, but the ones, you know, I consider my favorites, or favorites because they came out really well, or favorites because I learned something while doing them, that sort of thing. And then I will also be doing kind of a like haul video, which includes my Christmas stuff and stuff I have bought in the last couple of months, which I didn't think was that much, but there's actually a fair few things that I have somehow acquired. Emma, Elaine would be so happy to hear you being so lovely about her. But yeah, but she is absolutely amazing. She should have many more subscribers than she does have. I'm kind of puzzled that she doesn't. I don't know why. Maybe because, you know, she doesn't publish as often as, you know, some people do. But she definitely should be, you know, way more popular than she is, and way more well known. You tried something called Quidation watercolor surface sizing solution, and it worked. I tried it on R.G. Hampson hardcover book, Rita Berman's Seasons book, the compilation, and they all... Oh, that's cool. Where did you get it, Lucy? Do you have a link or something? Can you actually... I'm not sure if you can push publish links in there, but do you have any hints where to get it? A curious-minded seeker. Thank you, Annika. You have some very helpful people here in addition to you. Yes, I have the most wonderful group of friends and buddies here, and some of them way more knowledgeable and talented than me. So sometimes reading the comments can be more useful than watching me. Lucy, I improved a lot the resistance of the paper. Improved a lot. Sorry, what? Didn't try an Amazon paper yet, but as soon as my Gabby Wolf book arrives, I think that's Amazon printed, I'll try on that too. Oh yeah, that would be interesting. Oof, you need to come back next week on Saturday and let us know. Thank you for streaming. It's been nice talking gouache and watercolors. Yes, like I love both media, so I'd say there's going to be more of these. I often, you know, work in these almost more than in pencils, so I enjoy it. Oh, actually, I should show you now that it has dried, how this base looks like. You know, how much softer, and how the colors have now moved and blended. And now I'm going to be building the depth of colors from here. Basically, I'm using the same colors, only I'm going deeper and deeper and deeper gradually. And then eventually I will go on with a bit of pencils, especially on the face as well. And, you know, in kind of darkening up some areas on the clothes as well. But this is how this page is. We'll see if I'm going to get it ready by the end of December. I kind of doubt it, because those pages usually take me fair long. But I really enjoy making them. Oh, and I wanted to show you about my own kind of personal Christmas presents. I essentially bought that in Amazon sales in... Well, it was the Prime Day, or, you know, kind of pre-Christmas sales. There was a good deal on Amazon UK. I bought these. I gave them to my husband. I was like, wrap them up. This is your present to me. And then as we were opening presents, I had got to the last presents, like, where's my Inkton's? He had forgotten to wrap them. So he had to bring them from upstairs. They were still in the Amazon bag they came in. but I'm still delighted to have them. So I don't know now, you know, I'm trying them out. I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to love them or not like them too much, but I will have loads of fun trying them out and playing with them. And another thing that, this is not really Christmas present or such, but something that I got and I wanted to kind of show and say I'm actually returning it. Okay. You brought it on AliExpress. Okay. Yeah, Lucy, I think, yeah, you can't post the links. That's a bit of a bummer. The brand is Key Dawson, and I believe it's called Watercolor Repair Solution. Okay. Alright, I will try to find it, because that's intriguing. I would love to try it out. This one is the ones that I got just to test, because I have seen a couple of really positive reviews about these. They are glitter gel pens by ZSCM. They're actually expensive. They're quite expensive. There's how many of them? 12 colors. I got the golden set because it's kind of a sure bet, because these ones get used the most. I have plenty of glitter gel pens, but you know, I was curious. Of course, I was curious and was like, oh, it's, you know, it's Christmas, it's pre-Christmas. I'm going to get myself something, you know, treat like this. And they're fine. They're fine. They are not worth the money you pay for them, and I'm going to return them. I already did the Amazon return because I found them. They're definitely not worth the money. They're, you know, like middling feeling glitter gel pen. So if you feel tempted, then I wouldn't recommend them. You know, they're not bad. They're all right, but I find all pretty much like at the moment most popular glitter gel pens better. Longo ones are definitely better. The Pentel ones are much better than these. So are the Unipol ones. So yeah, I don't think they're worth it. So this is once again individual thing, but just, you know, giving you my experience. They're in my return pile. Jackie, now I'm going to Google Mei Liang watercolors. It's not a bad Google. These are not expensive. So, you know, you wouldn't feel sorry for them, you know, experimenting and stuff. Yeah, you don't need the 48 pack. I think the 36 pack, especially with your kind of a mixing skill, Jackie, is going to be plenty. So I would suggest if you get one, get the 36 color set. It's really good. In that one you have more of a kind of a single pigment colors that mix really well, and you know, nice transparent beautiful colors, and for very low price. So I think they're worth it. So anyways, I just keep talking about stuff. You know, the moment I say, oh, we're finishing now, I find something else to talk about. Typical. So sorry. My nose is starting to go. Yeah, I love that you find the story about my Christmas present as funny as I do. I think it was hilarious. So thank you very much for watching. Big hugs for you all, and hopefully we will meet very soon in New Year now again in a live chat. I will try to do one next Saturday as well. You know, all the fingers crossed, and hopefully you will enjoy the rest of your holidays and your New Year's celebrations, whatever you're planning to do or not do for it. Maybe you just want to stay home and not be bothered. Maybe you go out and celebrate big time. Everybody to their own. We'll probably have a fairly cozy one. So once again, thank you very much for joining me. It was great. It was a hoot. We had a good time. I had a good time. I hope you had a good time as well. And thanks a million for watching. And hopefully we'll see soon. So big hugs. virtual kisses. And if you don't mind, you can push a little like to the live chat as well. So maybe, you know, those videos get to more people eventually. So that would be great. So, hugs and kisses. And Happy New Year.